Oh, thank fuck. G'day, well, I'm Execute. Probably just getting banned now because I saw it in the first 5 seconds, but it's all good. Algared, recenter yourself, man. You're off to one side. You look like a sleepy old man that's fallen asleep. Recenter. Recenter yourself. Algared?
Yep. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. The sound of the ads had come in.
Oh, okay. Right, no worries. How you doing? I've had a week. It's been ups and downs and all over the place, as you can imagine. We got the Discord back. I'm really happy about that. But I've had a lot going on in my own personal life, like furnitures, and my whole room looks like a bomb hit right now. Because my mum got me some furniture and stuff, and it's just clothes everywhere. Yeah, just other stressful shit. But none of that matters to you guys. But and 4.1 hit as well. Or hit the YouTube, I should say. Right, I've got to get chat working again. There was the main problem today, guys. If you wonder why we were late, was there was a OBS update, and it, as usual, usually stuffs everything around. Algared had sound issues as well. So if he is a little quiet, please let us know. I have tried to fix it to the best of our ability, but we are still having.
It is a little bit lower when we do our sound test. Windows had lowered down the volume of a mic. That seems to have been fixed, but yeah.
Shit, I need my phone.
Life.
Two-step verification.
But Twitch didn't want to join either, so you know all of those wonderful things have
And I reckon I'm up to 3 FA at this point with the number of security things I've added since the little Turkish guy.
Yep.
But
yes, to confirm for people, yes, the Execute Discord is Execute.
Yes, I am. But the main thing is the Inforunners. I would have just made a new account, right? But the main thing is that we got the Inforunners Discord back. That's the real win there in my book.
Yep.
So yeah.
Just like we could have copied it. We could have done all those things and had.
Can you copy 3,000?
All that content.
Can you copy 3,000 people? I can't. Yeah, and that's
no. but it was also like even if everyone
that was all copied
moved across, we'd lost all that content.
No,
lost all the conversations.
That had all been cloned. We cloned all that.
Okay.
It was all the people that have been joined.
All right, I didn't notice the cloning.
So you would notice the server on right now, because we're still on that clone because of the bot today, right? Go through and look; it's all there. Lemming was able to clone it all. He was very clever. He just got absolutely everything. But you can't re-invite people that.
You can't get the people to join, and that was the thing that was going to kill us.
Yeah. Happy Pi Day.
When I first looked at, the first time I went in, I didn't notice all the chat. I thought, oh man, we've lost all the.
It is
all the discussions, and that was the. But as I scroll in some of the channels, I see, yes, they are there.
So that doesn't work in the rest of the world, Shem Pasta, because it's the 15th of the 3rd, not the 3rd of the 15th. But I get your thoughts. Clever. Yeah. I've got so many people reaching out to me, asking to double check that it's me. Like they've heard it's me, but they want to see and hear that it's me. And so I've got like everyone that I've ever talked to pretty much has come back out of the woodwork and stuff like that. And
people even don't believe you.
Well, the fun thing is reading the messages when they talk to the hacker, and the hacker's like totally getting trolled to shit, or people not believing it. I'm like, yeah, good on you, like that. It's actually really cool to see how stupid I was, basically. But yeah, he caught me with my pants down because I was doing multiple things at the same time, and it was kind of very clever. If you think about how, because they got Level Cap as well, right? Level Cap does a lot of game development stuff, and I do as well. So that's why we got caught out. Like, it just was appealing to me and him, and I think that's why we've been caught out. So
yep. But people still didn't believe he'd got it back because I had a swag of messages. How's Execute got his account back?
Yeah.
Is it actually Execute?
Well, that's the other part. How do I reach out to people that have blocked me to get them to unblock me? So I'm at the moment, I'm having this weird problem where I'm having to go around So I'm posting on other places, but look, if you know someone that has blocked me or was a fan of us, just spread the word for us, guys, because it's, I'm trying to get, like, there was people that I'm real close friends with, and I can't talk to them right at the moment because they've just hard blocked me.
Well, I think the thing is, yes, people,
mm,
the executed Discord account is execute.
mm.
It is safe to unblock him. It is safe to talk to him again. You know, I think that's the thing. You know, yes, you can hear our voice. One way to confirm it is actually get them to talk to you on voice. We will never refuse to talk to you on voice. You know, so yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, just talking to Paul, because
Yep.
the only one we don't have back at the moment is Loken. I've been reaching out to him, but I think he's got me blocked or ignored or something. So I need to get Loken back in there. But like that was where most of the damage was done. He essentially used it like a shopping list to kick people off. So we lost all our close supporters, all the content creator friends, all that type of stuff. So he kicked a lot of the patrons and stuff like that. The really cool thing is, though, when I reconnected the Patreon to the Discord, it automatically re-invited everyone that wasn't that had left.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is 100% AI. He's also crooked again. I don't know why he's doing it. He's just like this off to the one side.
I don't know why I'm crooked.
Yeah. He's got to reset himself up. Anyway.
Maybe the camera's tilted itself. I don't know why. Can't explain why. It must be AI. Must be AIL. But yeah.
Right. We do have some things to go through. There was a lot of stuff this week, actually, because of 4.1. And then I'm still...
and at some point this episode, we're also going to be doing the draw for the Paladin.
Yeah.
So, again, if you haven't responded to that video on the tier list, you've probably got 30 minutes before...
probably longer than that.
Before we draw it.
Probably a lot longer than that.
To put it in.
No, way longer than that. I'll pretty much give you to the end of the stream.
Hey, you know, I'm just trying to rush people to...
Yeah, I'm just more generous than you. That's fine.
And making sure I don't...
Probably what we will do, though, is we're going to release that video with Morph this week, I think. On that video, I'm probably going to give away the Mustang here in the background. The Cut the Mustard Algared, or the Algared's Cut the Mustard Mustang. Yeah, basically they gave that to us for St. Patrick's Day to give away. So I thought, well, you haven't seen the thumbnail, but it's a green kind of thumbnail with the one with Morph. So I don't know. You know, Morph's going to be on it, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a giveaway on there. I'm probably going to have to go back and re-upload the video though, because how am I going to mention a giveaway? Or maybe I'll just, you know, that's word of mouth. I might just put it in the comments. I might give it a lowdown one. So yeah, if you guys leave a comment on that one, we'll do a giveaway. But maybe I won't edit it this time. We'll see. Yeah, thanks, Shem. I really appreciate it. Yeah, because Loken's the hardest one for me to talk to because he's just so busy. And he's doing a lot of his own thing. I usually have to get Paul and Space to both reach out as well to get a hold of him. But yeah, it's only been a couple of days, so you know, like I only let my real family know yesterday, because it was just so stressful. I was about to go to bed when I got it back, and then I literally didn't sleep to the next day. Like I just went straight through, didn't sleep at all. So then I absolutely slept like a log for like 10 hours after that. So yeah. Right. Now, because I
seems to be not up at the moment as well, just to let you know.
Yeah, because it's not. I will do that right now. Hold on. I'm trying to organize so many different things, and I'm behind from where I was at because obviously all the starting problems we had. Bot should be up now. Someone wants to do a test, that'd be great. Now I gotta remember where the hell I gotta go to get all these things that I needed to show, because that's the other thing I didn't get time to set up because all the shit that went wrong. This is going to be the most unprofessional stream I think I've done in a while. Right. Roadmap. That was one of the ones I wanted to look at. Roadmap. Is there anything you wanted to look at from the week?
No.
No.
It's been a very busy week for me.
Okay. So that translates to Algared hasn't looked at diddly shit all week. Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have not had a chance to do squat.
Yes. Okay. Let's flick this over real quick. I'm gonna have to find the other things that I would. Oh, I need to turn your camera back on. Which one are you? You're not that one. You're that one. There we go. Right. So they updated this thing. They've basically anything that says 1.0 is stuff they want to get in before 1.0 releases, right? 4.1 is the stuff we're moving towards. They did put the baby Velika in the one of the latest patches that went to the PTU. I haven't had a chance to see them. When I go to the places where they apparently are, it is lagging like crazy. There are so many people trying to go to these new features that they just lag. Like it was so bad that I couldn't even see the ground. Like it wasn't rendering the ground, and then I just exploded because it wasn't rendering the ground. Things like that. So yeah, Al is quite a bit quieter than you. Yeah, I know, and I can't fix it, and I've tried, and
Yep.
I don't know what
I've tried, and the joys of OBS updates having an impact.
Yeah, they wouldn't have heard any of that. Oh, maybe they would have because I just reset my sound because I had a buzz on it. But yeah, I've tried turning Algared up, but I don't know. So he's gonna have to look at it during the week or whatever. But when he got on, he was so much quieter than he was. Like he was literally like a fifth of my volume. So yeah.
But Windows had reset my volume down to 90%. We upped that up to 100. Again, OBS did an update. But yeah, it's the joys of OBS updates and Windows updates and all the things that go with that. And
yeah, so I will put most of it on the update to OBS. But yeah, Algared and I is a continual struggle trying to get Algared sound to stay the same. But I'm not sure if it's his end or my end at this point, but from what I can see, it looks like it's more his end, but he says everything's normal. Actually, look, let me double check. There's one thing I haven't checked on my end. And I don't think this will make any difference, but I will check. And it's more likely to affect my sound than his. Nope. It's... that's... Where's that set as default? Yep. Sorry. This is so unprofessional. That's down a little bit. I don't think it'll make any difference though. Can you try talking again for me, Algared?
And I'm talking.
Doesn't seem any different to me. Let me know if he sounds any louder, but yeah, well, I updated yesterday. I didn't update today, but it was just little teething issues of like this is how weird it was. It deleted the stream key. So and it reset the NVIDIA encoder and everything, and that stuff it almost never normally does if you know anything about OBS. I had to call Pete real quick, and he kind of like sat there and helped me go through it just before stream.
Twitch wouldn't connect.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Twitch. It was it wasn't a connection issue. It was the encoder was down. So this is what I mean. Algared doesn't understand how it works. The video card essentially wasn't getting its encoding information is probably the easiest way to explain it to you. Anyway, let's get back to the roadmap. Right. So they've basically, why can't I scroll up and down all of a sudden? Oh, there we go. Right. They've basically just added on the stuff that we knew that was coming. Nothing else has really extra been added. I did just want to go through. So this was updated, right? Because you can actually go in now and it'll say, open the so updated March 12th, right? So they've actually gone through and added more details and stuff to these things and shown what's going on. But this appears to be a part of an event that's coming next month. And there is actually a clue to it on the loading screen. If you've actually seen the loading screen in the top right hand corner, there's talk of something about an incident where a lot of people can't respawn. You know the hammerhead load screen, Algared? So it's got something to do with people not being able to respawn. And we obviously heard in ISC this week from Disco in his very flattering suit that there's also some kind of event coming where frontier fighters attack Invictus. So there's going to be most likely an event going on at Invictus as well. So there's a few things tying together there. How are you finding the events, Algared? Is it a good thing, or do you think it's a bad thing with the narrative events?
I think anything where they're doing things that involve interaction is great. But in the last week or so, I haven't had time to really get in and enjoy the game. I'll get in for half an hour, and then have to disappear due to either care issues or workload or.
Well, you did get in with me briefly, but I basically got all the crates together and then got Algared on there and basically completed the mission for him. He was a bit pissed because we did Headhunters instead of Citizen Prosperity, but beggars can't be choosers. So,
you intend, and the thing was, we were intending to do the Citizens for Prosperity. You were, we're doing Citizens Prosperity. Yeah,
well, I thought we had. I thought we had
and
to.
Then,
but
then we were looking for the next mission, and it was, where can we find Citizens Prosperity? And it was,
I accidentally clicked the Headhunters one, but I was happy because I wanted to do Headhunters anyway. But I later did. So I got on with Piggles, John, Waffle, and Rice. I know you guys don't know all those people, but there's some guys playing Star Citizen with, and we ended up doing, I think, like 2 or 3 times over. We did the 13 million one. So we were just all buying in together and collecting copper and corundum, and I think I've got like $13 million on my own now at that point, just from doing the quests. So it was just cool hanging out. Mining seems to be what they have shifted to, because they changed all the way the rates work, because everyone was just buying at terminals. They want you to mine it. So you have to go out and mine tin, corundum, whatever it is of the objective they want you to fix. They want you to mine it. That's basically what it is. And the mining HUD has all been updated. It all runs really smooth. We were out in a mole. We were having a whale of a time in the mole. Like, I was driving. They were screaming at me for not driving properly. And they were mining really efficiently and perfectly. Yeah, wink, wink. And no one was blowing up rocks or anything. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, just very casually hanging out with friends. So that's how I'd recommend doing it as a group.
I think that's the advantage of those multiplayer ships. It's certainly the mining ships. It's yes, you can go out in your prospector and do it by yourself, but when you're with a group of friends or a couple of mates, and you can just hang out and do that, it changes the activity into a social event as well. So I quite enjoy those when you get a chance to do it, but one of my frustrations is often a session of Star Citizen is really you've really got to lock in 2 to 3 hours rather than a short of time, and that can be problematic at times. So like there were a couple of times when we were doing the thing, I'd spend one session just getting to the location we were going to be, and then the next session we'd do it, and then so yeah, it becomes a bit more of a planning session for when you're on that more limited time.
I've just realised something. I don't think that video with Morph is meant to come out this week. I think it's next week. Hang on. I've just remembered. Sorry. I need to check something real quick.
I thought we were going to do that.
No, because we're going to do this one. The one that we recorded last week, and I was like, we really should release this week. And now like 10 people have done the same topic. Like we would have been in front of the pack. But yeah, so ship's coming soon. It will be this week. The one with Morph is literally, I'll have to make that down. I'll do that next time. So the giveaway will be on this one. I'll go back and edit that one and chuck the giveaway in with that one. Or we could just delay it and do it with the morph. Yeah, we'll do it with morph. I'll just delay it a week.
Stick with a green screen.
Yeah. So yeah, but a lot of you guys that are on stream will pretty much know what's in the ships coming soon one anyway. It's stuff that we've talked about here, and then I just kind of realized I never talked about it in the greater community, so we were going to do that. And then obviously other people have realized what we're talking what's going to happen, and they're going to talk about it too. So it's just ships that are coming, like when they're coming over the next year, and we've already talked about it here. So a lot of people reckon that Perseus is going to come at Invictus, and I'm not exactly sold on that. And I think you'd agree with me on that, Algared. But so that's kind of what tipped that off. So
yeah, and we base a lot of that a lot of that information for ships coming based on the stuff that we gathered when we were talking to John and Ben.
Yep, exactly.
And just the length of the pipeline. So
yeah, there is a few. Hang on, I wonder if I can show you this real quick. Yeah, I could probably show this. Hang on, just I don't think how I can do this. Can I drag that onto that? I can. Sweet. So this is a video from Reddit, by the way. The Volt pistol is actually in the game. So that's pretty cool. I've been told by a few people it is how do I put this? It's got it's a kind of a longer time to kill, but it's because it's meant to jump between people. It's almost like an AoE weapon in a way. So it changes between. It's like a group kill weapon.
Can I suggest execute that you kill the sound on that video?
Yeah, sure.
So that while you're talking about it, people can actually hear what you're saying.
Oh, they can hear. Well, okay. Well, maybe you can't, but yeah. Anyway, it's almost over anyway. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And the other thing is that the longer you fire it, the more damage it does, because it's got to like build up to it like a beam. So that's just some of the issues it's going to have. It's very different from anything we have right now, and as you saw, it's pretty cool, visually striking.
And yes, just right, he did say it's a pistol, but hey, we make mistakes when
what did I say? Pistol?
Yeah, you can see what it is. It's a rifle.
Yeah, he's just crazy. No, I'm talking about just right. It's fine.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm forgetting half the things I wanted to talk about today. I had it all organized, and then I've just been thrown by what happened at the start today. So, yeah, obviously we've got. Actually, we're probably going to talk about that a little bit because I did a video on it, but you didn't talk about it, so you can probably share your 2 cents. Stellar Fortuna. So I'm just loading this up now. I was a little concerned when they released the skins that we were going to be getting like a skin for that $50 Archimedes or whatever it was, but they are actually different. I did a post on it. I'll probably get an image of it somewhere that I can pull up in a minute. But the adding of the racing stuff, that's what I kind of want to get your opinion on. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I've always thought that we needed more racing skins.
But doing it on St. Patrick's Day, Toby, then.
Yeah, on St. Patrick's Day, I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing. I could see it. Given that the Crux Cup is running at the moment and they've got the 24-hour one, I could see it maybe it kind of ties in with that. But yeah, skins are always good. Racing skins are always good, especially if you've got that variety of skins you can use on ships. But the Stellar Fortuna, you want the green skins, you want the emerald, or you want the I'm
trying to make it here so it's as big as possible. But the one on the left is the emerald, the old one, and the new one is the one on the right. And it's kind of probably a bit hard to see, but basically the old one is more black and the new one's more green. The big giveaway though is the cockpit screen. It's red on the old one and black on the new one. I still prefer the old one 100%. Yeah, so
any Archimedes skin is better than the silver, because the second you fly an Archimedes into the sun, you get blinded when you're in a plane.
Yeah,
silver Archimedes.
Well, they added this this other one. I haven't actually had a chance to try it because I've been too busy with some real life stuff with the furniture and stuff. And obviously the Discord took up 2 or 3 days today. but they added where is it? This one, this Murray Cup skin. I haven't had a chance to put that on yet, so it's essentially the cut the mustard for the Merlin. But yeah, there are some little bugs with some of these skins. Like for example, the Hello Kitty one. Once you put it on, the only way to get it off is to drop it on the ground. It's you can't put another thing on top of it and swap it out. It's really weird. I am quite disappointed by this Hello Kitty bike skin. Mainly because there's no Hello Kitty on it at all, Star Kitten on it at all. And I'll try and get a picture of it if I can. I'll do it in the background while we're talking about it. But there's no cat. There's no cat on it at all. Like there is on the suit, but there's absolutely none on the bike.
Yeah, and that's kind of a weird thing. Although I suppose if you're wearing the kitten skin or the kitten suit plus the bike, then you've got this unified whole. But yeah, it does feel a bit weird that there's no kitten actually on the bike itself.
Yeah, there's like these weird smiley faces, but there's no, which I don't think you can fairly call it Star Kitten because it's not there. I'm scrolling through Reddit because there was a whole heap of them the other day, but of course now I'm coming up short.
And I think the reason we don't see the Star Kitten Dragonfly, as someone's said in chat, they should sell the Dragonfly Star Kitten. I think part of it is possibly for legal reasons.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't know,
because when you see the suit, it's clear as day on the suit.
Yeah.
So I just think that was a rumor from back in the day. So I've got that image. Hang on, open image, new tab. But I need one of the bike.
I tend to think that the lack of a one on the Nox is it's because when you've got the suit, they blend well together.
The Nox?
That's the only thing I can think of.
What do you mean?
Why?
What do you mean on the Nox? Oh, you mean on the Pulse, not the Nox?
Yeah, Pulse.
Yeah. Gotcha. You gotta learn to speak Algared, guy. Chat. Once you understand Algared, you can understand why it's so crazy. Wait, will this one work? So this is the. So I'm gonna cut this back over. Give me a second. Yes. Right. So this is the Star Kitten. You can see it there on the back. It's on the helmet. See if you've got whiskers on the front. If you then go, is it going to show up? It's also got it on the chest, right? So it's everywhere everywhere on that, right? But it's not going to show the bike, is it? I don't have any of the bike. Damn, this is annoying the shit out of me because I can't find the bike. Damn it. I can't find the bike. How annoying. How annoying. Yeah, of course I'm gonna have to scroll here and find it, but I'll never find it. If you have a picture of the bike, someone please link it to me. But here we go.
There it is.
Sweet. There's none on the bike, right? And I know that doesn't show every angle, but it has these. You can kind of just see it there a little bit on the upper edge in there. Is this going to move across? No, it's not. I'm going to have to do it manually. See this little smile here? Instead of Star Kittens, it's got all these little blue smile, like yellow and blue smiley faces. But how can you call that a Star Kitten bike when there's no Star Kitten on it? It's like you said, they've designed them to go together. The other thing you'll notice too is they're slightly different pinks. So yeah, I don't know. That for me, that really devalued the bike quite a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm being picky. But you know, when you look at the old Star Kitten, Dragonfly, if I can pull that up.
Yep. I think just looking at it, it's Star Kitten because it's pink, it's white, and it's blue. It's got the blue highlights, it's got the white, it's got the pink.
Yeah, but
then when the rider's sitting on that bike, it blends into the whole.
But see
the Dragonfly version,
it's just way more. I guess it's pink, but it's also got this giant cat face.
Star Kitten on the side.
Yeah. It's just not quite the same.
And again, riding the Dragonfly in a Star Kitten outfit would just heighten it up.
It said it was too. They're saying it's too small. All right, well, I'll try to make it bigger. Oh no, I did make it bigger afterwards. Anyway, you can see it there anyway. It's on the suit, but it's not on the bike. So, if I was CIG, I would retroactively go back and add some star kitters, and maybe they tried and it just didn't look right. I don't know, but
Yep.
yeah, I do like some star kitten on my actual star kitten star kitten skin. So I did try out the skin on the Razor that they gave us as a loaner. It's basically red and black instead of kind of just one color. It's nothing too special. The Mirai racing suit's kind of okay, but I kind of don't like the big Japanese type of logo thing. I find it very distracting, and obviously I don't like the cut the mustard because it's just yellow and blue and it just looks awful. But you know, if you guys love them,
Yep.
you love them. But that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I think the Star Kitten Racing for the for the bike is really a racing skin. It's not a Star Kitten skin per se.
Yeah,
it's a pink racing skin. So you look at the skin, you've got on the bike, you've got the Gemini, you've got what was the other brands I saw? You've got the Refueling Company. You've got, so there's 2 or 3 sponsors on that as well as Mirai. So you've got Mirai,
Astro, Gemini, Bearing, Microtech. There's a whole heap of them. Kelto, RO. There's just heaps of them.
Yeah. So you've got 4 or 5 advertisers on the bike. It's pink, and then you've got your Star Kitten Racing skin. So I think as a package, it's really nice.
Yeah, but they're also individually. Yeah, that's the problem. Right. So I wanted to show this really quick. So this is a rare package you can buy, right? And it comes with an Origin. This is the Origin 350R Lightspeed package. It's from way back in the day, and it comes with an Origin racing suit. So don't worry about this. But the real reason I want to show it is they also sold this, the Origin racing suit. So I actually think that those people with the Lightspeed suit, I'd be really interested. I don't have a Lightspeed package, but I'd be really interested to know if those people actually got an Origin racing suit. Yeah. So yeah,
I can check that. I think because I think that may have been in my pack.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Just sent me a pic, or I just found the pic that he sent. So I'm going to try and open this. There we go. So it's pretty much similar to what we just had, but yeah.
But you can see the other advertisers there a bit clearer as well.
Yeah, like I would have made this smiley face like a little Star Kitten head. That would have been enough for me. But yeah, that's
a brand, isn't that the Yom?
I don't know.
Yom coolers or shields or something like that.
I don't know, but when you've got instead of Astro, you could have had old Star Kitten there. Yep. That's what I mean. The priorities are just stuffed up. Like they've tried to make it like a racing advertisement, but it really I'm not buying it for the advertisement. I'm buying it for the Star Kitten. And by comparison, there's no advertising at all on the Dragonfly one. So yeah, I think they missed the mark on this one because they made it a racing bike, not a Star Kitten bike, which is what would have sold a lot more. And I'm going to be honest, I won't be keeping mine. I'll put it in buyback, but it's just I'm not interested because I was really excited because it was Star Kitten. I thought, cool, finally that one that I missed all the way back in 2014, I can at least get a what do you call it, a consolation prize, but not in this case. So,
this is where we differ because I could see I gather where you're coming from. But I actually like that skin, not because it's Star Kitten, but because it is a genuine looking racing skin. And the Star Kitten suit does go well with it. I like the fact I've got multiple advertisers on and in-game companies doing that. That's the type of thing I want to see on racing skins. I don't want to see just
I think it's a great racing skin. We agree. I think it's a terrible Star Kitten skin.
Terrible Star Kitten skin.
So we agree.
Yeah, a great racing skin.
And I wasn't after a racing skin. I was after a Star Kitten skin, and that's the problem. And the other thing is, by the same token, look at the suit. There's no advertising on that at all.
Yep.
And that's why I mean, like they were made by different people. You can clearly tell.
I think the thing that probably gives it away that made by different people is a slight color difference.
Yeah, you can't.
I would wanted the pink to be the same.
Calling this a star kitten is essentially marketing not knowing what they're doing. Because again, looking at this, it's not star kitten. If you saw this independently on its own, you cannot call that star kitten because there's just nothing. Like I know the colors do, but I could also make something like that in another skin. Like I could make a G.I. Joe skin, or pick your theme, and I could just use the colors. Doesn't mean it is it. Like there's just no star kitten physically on it, and that's the problem. It needs so one person's taken it as a racing skin, the other person's actually taken it as star kitten. That's the problem. So yeah, I think we've. Yeah. Anyway,
it's a Barbie racing skin.
It could be, absolutely.
So anyway,
yeah. All right, we got any questions there, Algared?
Yep, we've got 4 at the moment. One of them is from Rusty Pigeon Gaming, which says, "Is the question bot working?" And the answer is yes.
Oh, great! 4 questions, man. This is gonna be the quickest stream ever. I can go back to bed.
Bob Smith has a question. He said, "Can this happen again?" i.e. referring to being hacked. It is always possible, and my advice would be, if you've got someone asking to do something, double check that it's a person you believe. Send them off get them on phone, get them on confirm with voice, or go and see them and say, hey, do something like that to confirm that it's who they say they are. Ask them a question that only they will know. I had a couple of those myself as well. Just saying, hey, tell me something only.
Yeah. Get your questions in, guys, because there is literally there's like one question on this whole thing. The others are people asking if it is the real me, and
I know.
That's it. There's one question. So if
and in answer to Shinobi Trip, yes, it is the real Execute.
I did miss a thing before too, by Arcane Danger. Thank you for the resub, dude. I did miss it, but Algared distracted me with a talking.
Execute, can I chime in here?
Certainly.
So I would just say that nobody on this Discord is going to ask you to download something, ever.
Yeah.
Never. Just we're not going to do it. So if somebody's asking you to do something that is particularly bad, I would go further than what Algared said, was talk to them on voice. I would just tell them no.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Look, even if there are times when I've actually given access to remote do stuff on my computer, and I've even been nervous that unless you really know the person, do not download stuff from them if you're not sure. Do not give them access to your computer. It's very simple. It's so yeah.
The other real simple one, because I obviously went and read a lot of stuff after this happened to me, is a real simple one. Like if it's a game, like the guy asked you to download a game, just say, I'm going to quickly run it through the virus scanner, and then after, like, give them a bit of fake time, and then you don't even have to have a virus scanner, right? And you just say, oh, it didn't show up as legit. And then if they say, oh, it is legit, they're lying, because no game will have a virus inside it. So if they turn around and say, oh, like they would say, oh, let me recompile it, then or rebuild it, that would mean that they are real. But if they literally turn around and say, oh, just run it anyway, they are full of shit. And I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty clever. So yeah, but again, learning all these little tricks, you're never going to kind of remember them in the moment. As I said, I was distracted doing multiple things at the same time when it happened to me. And I take a lot of people, like, it also was coming from an account of a person I knew. That person feels like shit, by the way. But they were a victim as much as I was, and everyone else that followed after me. Yeah, long story short, that's why it works so well, because you think it's coming from someone you know. But I was very impressed with the number of people that would be like, Execute doesn't talk like that. Execute wouldn't ask me to do that. You know, they knew me so well, and I'm not just talking about friends and family. I'm talking about a lot of you guys too. That was what, like, again, that's been the joy of going back and reading all these messages that that the hackers left, and the people that they've told him to get stuffed, and why would you give my friend his shit back, and stuff like that. So it's been very endearing to see how you guys all went to bat for me. essentially.
Yep.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Right, we've got a few more questions now. We've
Yep,
complained.
we do have a few more.
Yeah.
Social Confused had a question.
Yeah.
How has the TO item changes gone for you both?
Tier 0 item recovery been.
Have you been loving it so far? I'm torn about it.
I haven't actually really experienced it in game yet. I guess actually I did actually, if I think about it, because the racing suit came back. Yeah, maybe that was tier 0. I never thought of it because I was in the hangar driving around and I lost control of the bike and rammed it into the wall and exploded. But that would have happened anyway because I was at a hangar. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I need to test it more thoroughly. I don't have a real problem with it because basically I think it's like early stages of the game. I think where things are, like, they're reluctant to build things they're going to replace, but because it's a game in development, I'm fairly think they need to build something and work backwards from that. So have it so it works and protects people, like pad ramming, like how they put in the turrets to stop a lot, or to try and stop a lot of that stuff. They just need little safeguards in place so it's at least playable. That's kind of my take on it. As for getting all my items back, well, that's kind of handy. I kind of paid extra to get them. Why shouldn't I be able to use them more frequently?
Yeah. Look, I still haven't got past the fact that I very rarely, if ever, wear anything that, or take anything that I care about losing.
Well,
So,
now you can. That's
so
one of the advantages.
I still can't get myself to do it. So I still go out in the general basic suit.
That
I only wear
explains
stuff that I
why
bought at the
I
shop.
always see Algared in the underpants, because he's not taking anything with him.
Yep.
So if you
Except,
see an old man
have you-
running around
ha-
Lawville and he's only wearing underpants,
no.
invite him home.
Except, have you got have you got a what's he gun? A tractor beam gun? Nope. Haven't got that with me.
Hmm.
Have to go buy one.
Yeah.
You know, that type of stuff. So stuff that's rare, I just got in the habit of, you know, if I don't want to lose it, you don't take it. That's always been my view in games. So yeah. So I haven't really experienced that. Radium TX has a question. I recall the racing suits were supposed to have a G-force reduction to help prevent blackouts. Is that mechanic in game for these suits yet?
No, I don't reckon it would be. And that will definitely be a thing in the future.
Yep.
I think that'll come with a lot of the stuff they talked about at CitizenCon. They did mention a lot of stuff like that, didn't they? Different clothing having different effects and stuff. So yeah, down the road.
So it's those types of things that are going to have, you know, and it's those different tools or things we equip ourselves with that are going to make the difference down the line as to what we do and to how we play and how successful we are at certain endeavors. Same as, you know, you go with a mining hut on your helmet, you know, a mining helmet with all that gear. That's going to give you an advantage over someone who just has a racing hut or a combat hut. But then when the crap hits the fan and you're in combat, the reverse is going to be true. It's those types of things that are going to have an impact on game and how we play and how successful we are in certain endeavors.
I was just thinking, Algared, with regards to losing your gear, just before they're about to roll out a patch, you should go out and test it because you know you're about to get it back anyway.
Yep.
I
should do that.
And that way, when you know you're getting it back, you'll become more comfortable at going out with it on. So yeah.
Yeah, well, like even at the moment, I know we're in alpha. I know that we're going to have reboots. We're going to have, you know, patches, and we're going to get stuff back. But old habits die hard. You know, so yeah.
All right,
Rusty Pigeon Gaming has a question. What are your thoughts on the pilot-slaved weapons on older ships?
I've read a lot of stuff that it's not exactly that. Them saying that, but basically they're just making it so it's a bit more friendly at the moment. That's kind of what I was trying to say. They really, because eventually when that comes in, it's going to be sweeping changes where you can go into the MFDs and set your weapons where you want them to be. It's kind of like on a lot of the fighters where you can set different weapon groups. It's just setting them to different seats. That's essentially it. And you know, I hear the Corsair talked about a lot, right? Because the Corsair ones got taken away and stuff like that. But eventually you can do whatever you want. You could essentially have the pilot on the back turret if you really wanted to. You won't be able to aim properly, but you know, you can do, you'd be able to do that with your MFDs. So what you're really wanting to do though, is essentially give the player choice. It's just not there yet. The system's not there yet to do that. And again, if they implemented that, that's how I'd probably implement it. Take what they've got where you can set your weapons groups and just also give it an option in a multi-crew ship, at the very least, to set it to a different seat. Again, this is what I'm kind of talking about to make things more playable. And yes, that is, someone's got to go to the trouble of doing that. But look at how much it increases our lives. I think that's what they've got to look at, and I think they are starting to look at a bit of that, is what's a small win we can get for the players. So things like that. It's kind of like with the Caterpillar thing at the moment. Like, they've clearly been working on the Caterpillar, and they're like, well, what was a small little win we can get here? Well, we can make it so the doors go all the way up and all the way down, but you can clearly tell that they've put in an animation to pause it, but the pause isn't in yet because someone's got to come back, redo all the switches, and there's a lot of switches on that thing, so that's a lot of copy pasting. But to essentially have it so it has a low, medium, and closed, or whatever you want to call it, you know, I don't know what they would call it, stage 1, 2, and 3, whatever they want to call it. But that will be a thing. And then they've also got to add cargo grids to the elevator doors so you can stack it at both the bottom and the medium. And that obviously is going to take a bit of time. So again, you're just seeing things come in where they can give them to you. But yeah, it'd be great to have someone go jump on the Caterpillar, but then what are they not doing in return? And that's the part that you can never answer. Like, it's always, why don't they do this? And it's like, well, what, they're doing something else. What are they losing by coming there to do that one small little thing just for the Caterpillar owners? But they obviously added it as they were working on, they're probably working on the Ironclad, right? Much as we heard them talking about the different ammo types for the Perseus and stuff like that. That'll also not just be for the Perseus, that'll be for other ships and maybe not other ships, but other weapons and stuff like that. You get where I'm going, right? It's multiple wins across multiple things is where you're going to see those, not just one little thing for one ship.
Yeah, and I think part of the problem with the Cat is still the problem with things like the cargo grids on the doors when they're as lifts, but you don't want the cargo grids on the doors when they're actually doors, because that's not the way the Cat stores its cargo. And so you've got a dual problem there, isn't it? It's a how do we get that working? And you know, so I can see there's still issues that they have to kind of sort out for the Cat.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a single ship, say, post 5 years ago, any ship that was kind of before 2020, and this is just a vague description I'm giving here, that won't have some form of the further back you go, the more problems they get that need to be fixed, right? The Retaliator doesn't have any cargo, well, and unless it's inside the pods, you know what I mean? I'm talking about internally in the ship. So again, it's just those modules that had to be realistically. And obviously they did the door and stuff like that. So all the changes it had were kind of small, but like you start to look at some of the, like the Starfarer, the Reclaimer, and you start to see there's going to be these big, massive sweeping changes. And that there's a fair bit of rework in a lot of those, not all of them, but again, like I look at the Caterpillar, and you start to wonder how they're going to redo those, but obviously they'll come back to the Caterpillar at some point and add all the modules. And I reckon that's where it's going to get its massive rework. Now, how far down the road are those modules? I would say they're pretty close to the Endeavour, so right at the damn end. The Caterpillar is probably going to be the longest, like it's one of the ships that came right at the beginning, and it's probably going to come right at the end. It's going to be one of the saddest tales, to be honest with you.
It was one of the ships that was always said to be at the end of, one of the last ships we do, because it was so big, and that was even before John Crew was, I think, heading up the ship team. And I think it's just been that's just been reiterated time and time again. And some of the issues with that, Ben and John talked about when we were talking to them, it was just with so many variations to that ship and so many modules, it just adds to the problems you've got in creation, and all the modules change the exterior of a ship. So
Yeah.
got that, and it was at that same discussion where they said, we asked whether the Caterpillar modules are still coming, and they basically said, yeah, they're still on the cards. It just
So I got two things I just want to follow up on here. So I did actually reach out on Twitter and also one of our contacts at CIG to actually ask about the command module this week, because I want to know if it's got landing gear. We're now going to have 2 of these things, and I just want to know if it's actually going to be able to land, because I've never seen it with legs. And if you think about it, what's the point of having this little ship that can disconnect if you can't go land at a landing zone? It's useless. What is it, a crash landing vessel? That essentially means it disconnects once. It's a life pod then. It's not actually a ship. So I'm trying to get a response on that. So if you guys want to, you've guys got any feelers, put them out and see if we can get an answer to that one. And then secondly, Robert JT says, I'm still not seeing major progress on older ships getting component access. Wonder if it will stall engineering. Well, that's kind of what engineering is going to be, Robert, is essentially it's coming in like you can't just do it all ships in one go. It's too big of a function. They're going to do a couple of them and bring it for those. Like, and obviously the Hercules series was their test bed for most of that. And then it'll come in like all the newer ships that are automatically getting their components first, and then they'll go back over time as they do the gold passes, so to speak, and do it to older ships. It's the only way it can be done. There's too many ships now, and to just expect them to do it all and not have something go wrong would be insane. You're much better to get it to working on 1 or 2 ships and then roll it out.
Yep. Yeah, it's an interesting question regarding the landing gear on the pod, on the command module. I do remember back in the day that people used to refer to the command module on the Caterpillar as being kind of an escape pod. It was kind of the only Drake ship with an escape pod, but but that was never from CIG. That was kind of backers kind of using that language for it. But
if that's all it ever is, and it is just a ship that you essentially crash land, then I just want to know that, it's not about whether I'm demanding they put landing gear on it. I just want to know if it does have landing gear, right? And it's just we've obviously never seen it flying. They're obviously working on that at the moment, so obviously someone's going back and remodeling both those modules, and essentially it's a yes or no answer. I don't need anything other than yes or no. And I just like to know, and I'm sure when because there was an image of it. If I look it up, give me a second. You and I were
chat are saying that it does look like it's got landing gear. Stargrunt Grim mentioned that it looks like it's got landing gear.
He mentioned it in a post to me, but there's nothing.
There's nothing official.
Let me finish. So I've talked to other people, and they've looked at the files. There is no landing gear in the files, right? And when we were doing that video that's coming out this week, I remember looking at this image, and that's what triggered it. I was like, hang on a minute, how the hell is that going to land? And yeah, you can clearly see that they're probably, like you got little flaps there that'll probably open up either side. But I've just never seen a picture of it landed or any form of landing gear. And again, being such an old ship, and I'm not talking about this one, I'm talking about this one, because it's part of Caterpillar, we've just never ever had landing gear. So I'd just like to know. And again, they probably tell us when the ironclad comes or whenever it comes, but I'd just like to know now, because informed purchasing decisions and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I reached out to Ben and I reached out to John on Twitter, but I haven't heard anything. But now it's the weekend, they might actually have a chance to check their Twitter, so we'll see what happens.
I think, even if it doesn't have landing gear, it's still better than anything, because of the docking collar. I would expect you can dock at a station.
Yeah, so just what Pete is stupidly saying, it doesn't land, it docks with a Caterpillar and ironclad. Then what's the point of it only docking with one ship, Pete? It's either an escape pod that crash lands to save the people, or they talked about it being like an actual snub that you can. It's got warp drive on it, for crying out loud. Why would you put warp drive on it if it can't land? What's the point? You might as well just land on the planet, like the closest planet with non-warp drive. It's just kind of silly.
It's Drake's boarding craft.
Yeah,
they dock to another ship and
so, yeah. Anyway, yeah, maybe you got to escape to another ship. I don't know. And maybe it only ever does dock with other ships because it's got a dock and collar. Maybe that is how it works. I don't know. But it seems really stupid to have a potential ship that doesn't have landing gear. It would be very weird. It would be the only ship in the game that doesn't have landing gear. But
maybe it takes up a view from the old Consolidated Outland and it lands on skids.
I can have skids or whatever, but it just needs. I just want to know if it can land. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. So,
yeah, I used to like the Mustang when it had the the skids that landed on. I'm not a fan of a Mustang with landing gear. To me, it's just a loss of uniqueness of a ship. But hey, can't have everything you want.
So they also was doing a lot of testing this week on. I've heard back from some people like you cannot ram a Polaris anymore with smaller ships. Like it takes like at least a Connie to do some serious damage to a Polaris now. Like they were ramming it with like Auroras and stuff, and it was doing like it didn't even break the shields properly, and it only did about 2,000 alpha UEC of damage. Yet the whole Aurora was destroyed. So they're really changing the health pools and stuff of how these ships operate. So the game is about to move into the stuff you and I have talked about for years, where big ships actually matter now. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Now, Bob Smith in chat says anti-grav landing gear, and talking about the cat.
Yeah, maybe.
And I would say probably not.
Not for Drake, but
I'll use.
Yeah,
I'll use the law here. Drake's a fairly new company, and they've stuck to the old-fashioned mechanical stuff. So I can't see them using super technology.
What were they? 130 years old or something? We worked out the other day.
130 odd years old.
Yeah.
So I just can't see. I can't see that. Can CIG do that? Absolutely. But would it break? I think it would break their brand. Personally, but that's just my opinion. But yeah.
Yep.
Next question. Is there any upgrades you would recommend? Are there any upgrades you would recommend? This is probably Lemming's ballpark.
Yeah, but upgrades for what? It's completely out of context. We need the context, please, Jerber. So if you're still in chat, what upgrades what ship do you have? Things like that. We can't recommend blind when we don't know what you're talking about. So yeah. Yeah. Keep an eye on chat, see if Jerber drops a comment. Right.
Algared and Exe says, will all the best rewards skew to PvP compared to PvE?
No. And I really I got a lot of flack out of context on Astropub's thing last week. But if you watch the whole thing through, you'll see a lot of people got just heard the first comment and checked the hell out. But basically, I don't think any form of rewards should be locked to one gameplay loop. You should always have multiple options. And I stated things close to that effect anyway during the week. But yeah, maybe I think the one exception you could give is if it is a very focused PvP item. But even then, I'm not a fan of that. You should, even if it takes you heaps longer, you should always have multiple routes. But also, we are in that place of the game where we don't have the luxury of multiple routes because we're right in the infancy. So yeah.
Look, and even when CIG did try to do things that were PvP centered, kill 50 individual people to get this skin or get this mask. The players decided, no. Most players decided, no, we're not going to do that. We'll do Congo lines.
Right. So he's given us context. He's saying upgrades at this sale. So he's talking about the ships that are available. So, and I just realized I am on the wrong screen. God damn it. All right, here we go. So if we go, I need to get rid of this. Cool. Right. So let's go down and have a look at the ship. So I kind of went through all this in a video. I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's terribly a lot here. I think there was only like one or two good ships that I'd probably recommend. I'm just going to quickly go through and look at them and tell you
So, I can
Yep.
talk about this
Yeah, sure.
briefly. So the 600i Touring is available twice a year
Mm-hmm.
at Stella Fortuna
Mm-hmm.
and at IAE. So if you want a 600i Touring, this is one of your few chances to get it.
Yep.
Um, regarding the war bonds for this event,
Mm-hmm.
they're not bad. They're not great, but I mean,
They've really
like
been
for
nerfed though
example,
in the last few years though, haven't they?
I mean, some of them come and I mean, like for example, the A2 war bond
Mm-hmm.
is an exit strategy from the BMM.
Yep.
So that's not bad, but it's situational. Um, the Redeemer War Bond is very interesting because of the Paladin. Um, it
Mm-hmm.
brings it down to 300,
Mm-hmm.
but then the Paladin is likely to go to either 330 or 350.
Yep.
So I would wait.
I reckon it'll be exactly the same price.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
reckon they'll deliberately be doing that to force people to try to
Yep.
buy another one.
So
They
we're
do that a
10
lot.
weeks away from Invictus.
Mm.
For the most. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I don't know if the Razor's available, but I think this is the only time outside. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
This is the only time to get it outside of AIE.
Mm.
So that's a very common anchor ship
Yep.
that a lot of people use in chains.
Yep. It is.
So this is your opportunity.
Yeah. So to get some everyday, essentially that's what it's saying, an everyday available ship to a Razor CCU is what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
As for actual ships, I think the only ones in here I'd be recommending, again, if you're into luxury, yes, I can get behind what Lemming's saying about the 600. I don't personally like that too much, but I do understand why some people do. The Sentinel is probably the best of the Vanguards, but it's not in the Vanguard series is not in the best place, but that is the one of them. And then the only other one that I'd probably recommend is the MSR. Everything else I think is probably a bit of a miss. What about you, Algared? Anything in there that you would recommend?
Look, in terms of the starter ships or low price ships, unless if you're looking at them chains, you none of them really appeal because none of them have LTI.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm looking at using upgrades,
Yeah.
at my start point, I want to have LTI so that my larger ship has LTI.
Yeah. So what we're really just talking about is just the upgrade. So we're making the assumption that you've already got an LTI token. We're really just talking about the upgrades. So yeah.
And so after that, any upgrade that fits into my chain, if I'm trying to build a chain, any upgrade that gives me saving that fits into my chain is a bonus. Some the upgrades these days are not as lucrative or as good as they used to be. But I think ultimately every upgrade is situational. Some are better than others. But it really depends on your own situation as to whether that fits into your chain or whether the likelihood of getting a better upgrade will work for you. But generally, I've always taken the view that lots of small jumps can be better than one big jump. So
interesting. Sean the Solo has just said, they said in the IRC Ironclad is rad at 324. The command module serves as an escape pod and should only be attached in an emergency. Maybe it doesn't land. Damn. Okay. Good to know. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
that actually reiterates kind of a thought that people used to have with the Caterpillars module. But even looking at that, I would still expect that the command module, because it's got a docking collar, should be able to dock with any other ship that's got a docking collar or a station that's got a docking collar. That would be my thought process, but does it mean I'm right? Nope.
Okay. Right. Sorry, I'm getting messages that I'm having to deal with.
So while you're doing that, I'll go on to our next question.
Please.
It's from Venificus or Venificus. They say, do you think more ships will get the slave turret treatment?
Potentially, but it's all up to what they kind of require for game balance. And that's always tricky to say because they are forever going to be balancing this game all the way through. Every time you add a ship, you potentially knock all the others out. So
every time you add a ship, every time you get an update, there'll be some balancing going on. You know, from every MMO you've ever played, whenever there's a major patch, they'll talk about X ship has been balanced or X class has been balanced to do X, Y, Z. They've either had their hit points increased, their damage increased, something decreased. There's always that to and fro, and that'll be the same. I think with slave turrets, in the past, the IGF talked about that needing blades and computer strength, computer capacity on your ship. So you slave a turret down the track, it'll be taking up computer power, and that will reduce other abilities of what you've got. So
Lemming, if you're still there, can you get Malice Wayne as a first-time chatter on Discord? First-time chatter on Twitch. Can you get him a Discord link because that old link won't work anymore because we lost the Nitro boosters because of the hacker.
Yeah.
Malice Wayne, Lemming's going to send you a link. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll get you one. Is it on YouTube or Twitch?
He's on Twitch. He's a first-time chatter on Twitch. He typed in the command and it gave him the old one. We have to get our boosts back up to 14. I think we're at 9 or something because he essentially kicked everyone that was boosters and patrons and content creators. And so as soon as you kick them, the boosts are removed. And so we've got to get all those people back on and reboosted back up to get all our perks back. I think we're back up to 9, but we've got to get to 14. So we need like another 5 boosts to get it back to where it was. Right.
Broken AI has a question.
Yeah, go for it.
He says they just removed the ability to turn off clouds in PTU. The default is now medium. Do you think this is for a reason? Hiding
PvP
signatures in clouds or weather, perhaps?
Well, yeah, being able to hide. If you can turn the clouds off, you can just see everything.
You can hide better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes racing more difficult.
Yeah.
I know for Crash Cup around the Ahamani Ring, people would turn off clouds because then you could see the whole track. So yeah, it enables you to hide.
Right.
I'm going
to create
obvious.
I'm going to create an invite that'll last for the next 7 days. Real quick, hang on. Generate link. So this will last for the next 7 days. There's that one, and I can't talk in that one, so I'm going to have to post it over here. Will actually work. Yes, it does. No, ignore that on YouTube. Shit, that's the wrong one. Remove. Where the hell did that not copy paste? It copied the whole, and I did it on Twitch as well.
I put one. I put one in Twitch.
Can you put it on YouTube as well, please? The one I and delete my comment on Twitch because I copy pasted a YouTube studio link.
I can't mod you.
Oh shit! No, I can't even mod myself. Don't let me delete it. Wait, nope, I can't delete it.
Edit the post, delete the post. Maybe.
No, it doesn't work that way, Algared. If you ever want to know about Boomer stuff, there he is. You know everything about it. Fell out of 1929. Oh dear. All right, sorry. Anyway, no, it'll be fine. It's just going to give him a dead link anyway. But the one Lemming, it says Shempast is saying it didn't work for me. Yeah, well, the one I linked wouldn't. But does the one Lemming drop work? And Lemming dropped another one on YouTube as well. No, he didn't. He removed it. Right.
Now, to go back to Broken AI's question, the idea of hiding in the clouds is a key one. But the last bit he says, weather effects, made me think about the CitizenCon and what they were showing us at weather. So if you turn off clouds and all those effects, you wouldn't be able to see the storm coming in. You wouldn't be able to prepare. And so yeah, I think there's I think that could tie into the reasons why they make it so you can't turn it off. Maybe not for now, but yeah. I could see that being down the track as a reason why you don't want to have your clouds completely turned off.
Hell, is this not working? Sorry, I'm having. It refuses to copy it. It says use copy button, and then you copy it, and then when you post it, it's posting hidden use copy button. What the fuck is going on? This is so stupid. This is, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I can't make a link. One use, generate link, copy. I mean, you have any problems on your end? Because I can't get it to, I can't generate an invite link. It's really weird.
From which account?
From mine. Well, like I'm literally trying to copy paste the code in a notepad, and I know you can see my screen, but no one else can. But it's doing this. That's what it's copied. It's not actually giving me the code. Oh wait, this channel is private. You can't make a code. That might be this.
Yeah, so you need to do it to the welcome channel, I think.
Right, got to do it to the welcome channel. So they've changed how it works. Just got to do it all the time. Welcome.
Oh, somebody just got bopped in Twitch. Let me go sort that out.
Yeah.
Like that invite.
Welcome. Great invite. And invites. Copy. No, it's not working for me at all. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, there's a YouTube link to the Discord channel.
I don't know if that'll work, Algared. Let me check. I don't know if that's working, Algared. Let me know if Algared's link's working. That's not how you meant to copy it, Algared, but it may work, it may not.
That seemed to work for me when I clicked it, so.
Yeah, but you're already on the Discord. Yeah.
Red Samurai has a question. Have we started an org yet? If not, why? And when?
The game's not out yet. All right, that one Lemming posted worked for me. So yeah, Lemming, if you want to post that same one into YouTube, please. Yep. Basically, I don't think I'll ever get an org off the ground until down the road. You know, so yeah, I don't know. Like we've seen so many orgs come and go, haven't we, Algared? And there's just a lot of work. I think the other thing is we probably wouldn't be able to run it. We'd have to, like, we might be in it and stuff like that. But like for example, Lemming and all the other boys, they have so much work already running the Discord. We'd have to get another person, wouldn't we, Lemming? I don't think Lemming?
Sorry, I couldn't talk.
That's all right. Your mic's on anyway. I've been hearing you breathing like Darth Vader this whole time.
I hear you breathing.
I'm sorry. Stupid talk. Anyway, right now the tools aren't there to really be able to properly manage an org.
Yeah.
I think we could talk about it more when those tools are better there. But yeah.
Well, look, Drazen's in Twitch chat, right? He actually runs Space Tomatoes org, like he helps him do that, and they are a shit ton of work. And as I said, I think we'd need to build a whole nother team just to run it. To be honest with you, and I just something that I don't really think we need to look at right now when there's not enough game there to do it. You can just jump on and join people on the Discord already.
So that link that I posted in one of the chats is to the Discord. That's the backup now. So sorry, everybody. I'll post the right one.
Delete. And you can't delete that one? Oh, great. So now they've gone and joined that one. Yep. Cool.
Sorry.
Well, yep. We're having a shit day today. I don't know what's going on. It just won't. I don't know why it went.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make invites. It's really weird.
Yeah, and in answer to Red Samurai's question, I'm actually in an org. I'm in Southern Cross Alliance. That's tends to be where I joined way back when.
And I'm in the
quite
same
happy
one.
with that group.
Yeah, I'm in the same one as well.
So,
So yeah. It'd be a like our secondary org or something like that though, Algared.
yeah, it certainly wouldn't be my primary org. It, you know, my home is Southern Cross Alliance. That's where I prefer to hang out if I'm doing stuff with an org. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that's the one that you want. Normally you just type in Discord GG/Inforunners, but again, because we lost that Nitro booster thing, that's been taken away. So until we get that back up and running, I think that's one of the worst things. Like with Discord is we've been eligible for partner for probably 5 years now, but I watched Space and Paul go through trying to get partner, and they say you need 1,000 people, but then they just keep moving the goalposts and moving the goalposts. So I just didn't even bother applying. The advantage of being applying is once you're a partner, they just essentially give you all those perks and they can never really be taken away. But again, it's
so
just
they don't like to give you those perks anymore.
yeah, well, again, because it's potential money they can make off nitro boosters. That's why they do it. That's why they keep moving the post, because they basically want money.
Yep.
Yeah, look, my experiences with everything that went down, if they're going to try and do a publicly traded company, I think they're going to find that eventually I wouldn't be buying stocks in them, because what'll eventually is going to happen is there's going to be some, like the hack that happened to me, right? That's been going around the whole Star Citizen community. Some big problem's going to happen, and they're going to have a blowback from a lot of customers, and the stock price will absolutely plummet because they don't have it set up properly. They care more about taking the money in, where the whole way Discord started was it was free and it was all about the players. And you look at how it's rolled out over the last few years. Every time I log in, every second day I log in now, they're trying to spam that store icon at me to buy something and stuff like that. I've got no interest in it. Yet there's all these other little features that they really need, and they've never ever done. So they've shifted. Their development's pretty much shifted from us to making money, and you guys know as well as I do, as soon as that happens, the game suffers, and it's not a game. I know that, but you get my point. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Socially confused.
I was going to say real quick, Pissball Pete says, having an org is like having a boat. It's too much work. Just go visit your friends instead. Yes, I agree. Right. Algared?
Nope, I agree with that comment. Socially confused says, does this new event hint at the full-sized worm coming at the end of the chain? So talking about the baby worm.
Hang on, I'm just looking at some security problems that have
I can
popped
talk.
up. Yeah.
I think that it, like they said, that there is a building story this year with Star Citizen, and like one of the big like headlines when you log into the game, sometimes you'll get like a picture of a screen with a bunch of headlines on it. One of those headlines is like medical supply crisis or something like that, and we know based on some stuff that may have came out this week or something like that, that one of the B stories is a cloning crisis that's coming.
Yes.
So I could see that all tying into the worm, and where these drugs are actually going is making a worm grow too big. I can kind of see where they could be going. So to answer your question, yes.
I actually,
if you go back
hang on, before you move on, I also did mention that earlier, Lemming. You know the load screen with a hammerhead on it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I've actually found a picture of it. So I've been looking everywhere for a picture. Hang on. Open image in new tab. Visit. Is that? Yes. All right. Here, hang on. I'll switch it over. So you can actually see it in the top right-hand corner here. I'm going to zoom in. It says casualties climb in accident aftermath. Countless people remain missing after yesterday's crash, with a surprising number failing to regen. So that tips ahead to what you were saying. Now, I don't know if you took it from here, Lemming, but I heard from multiple people that's a tip of what's coming next.
It's down in the left-hand corner is where I got that from. I don't know if you can zoom in on that part of the picture.
Data train theft?
Yeah,
that's a medical supplies problem.
Reeling after a series of coordinated attacks, stock prices for these chemicals because they're highly rare. Naturally occurring toxins. Does it say anything about respawn though?
Talking about the medical supply problem.
Right.
So you're connecting these two dots. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you now.
The other thing that's even last year there was a post in one of the law documents that said there was a problem with the respawn tech. There was a problem with the sphere in terms of respawn. There was a problem coming. There was something that was wrong with the system. And that was last year. And now we're actually seeing something come into the game as being a problem that's having an impact on respawn. So what's causing that? I imagine that we'll see that, and whether the worms are going to have be a source of the medical stuff, or as a result of stuff to try and get more of it, we cause them to grow, or whatever. But yeah, I could see the worm being part of a story chain or being tied into a story chain.
Yeah, I could definitely see it a part of the story chain. I think a lot of people are thinking the mining laser for the Hathor stuff, disrupting the ground will somehow summon the worms or affect the worms. But no, I won't rule anything out. I think it definitely could be a part of the story. I just have to wait and see how it rolls out, because obviously there's going to be I'm hoping there's going to be a few surprises in there from narrative, but we'll see. At least it's different to other years. We're getting something every month. That's better than waiting for these insanely long lulls that we've had to wait for. So yeah.
I also like the way they're doing the kind of updates with the Terra Gazette, because they're not only telling us what's coming, but it's also tied in with the lore, and they're putting it into the lore aspect of the game as well. So the more you understand the lore, the more you'll appreciate or be able to go with the flow as to what's going on here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Artemis TGM. What are your Invictus predictions? Gas mineral extractor starter ship? ?
I don't think we've really talked about that yet. It's still a little bit away. We will definitely do an episode on it, but yeah, I think it's a lot. How do you put it this way? Normally, you can tell because of what gameplay is coming, right? But they haven't heavily hinted at exactly what's coming next. We know that there's a lot of things in the wings, like engineering, things with the Apollo, more medical, and I think I might have already said engineering, scanning, bounty hunting. So there's a few things there. We just kind of got to see. I think the only other safe ones would be anything that was off the blue silhouette, or the blue curtain, as Algared calls it, image. And I'd probably be leaning more towards the vehicles there. But again, the episode we're doing will come out this week. It does talk about a few of those.
I tend to think that the gameplay we've kind of been hinted at is, as you said, engineering, medical, and possibly building.
Base building is a good one. Yeah,
they're the three things we've kind of seen being flagged as what they want to bring in.
Well, it's just bounty hunting is flagged in there as well. So there's quite a few. That's what I'm saying. We're kind of waiting for something to be able to point to.
But as you said, none of those things have been flagged. Hint at gas mineral extraction yet. So
yeah.
That would tend to say not yet.
Yeah, I think things like gas extraction that are probably 1.0 after 1.0, quite honestly. Yeah, I think just wait to see what they probably talk about on the monthly reports and have a look at that and see if there's anything that points towards the gameplay. And there isn't any new things, actually. It's just, so we're going to have to wait until they update it again, and hopefully there's a tip of the hat to what they're working on. Unfortunately, all we've got is the things that they were working on, but I've never seen such a radical shift in how they're going about things. They, they had, you saw things coming, and that they'd be rolling out. They might be slowed, but they were still going to come. Now there's this kind of almost not about face, but this completely change in a direction to the approach that they're going about. So those things are still there in the wings, but it's just like, how long do they actually go? Like, how long is it going to be till we get scanning and medical and those other things that we mentioned? And that's really hard to ascertain. So you just got to kind of and mainly it's so hard to ascertain because they've changed direction, so we don't know the speed of it anymore. So everything that we knew has kind of been thrown out the window, and we've got to readjust and relearn. So yeah,
I tend to think it's in some ways, yes, they changed direction in terms of trying to give more gameplay and put those loops in. But in other ways, they haven't really changed.
Well, that's what
they'd already gone to the point where they'd say, we don't want to bring this ship out until the thing's there for it.
But I'm talking about the speed. So you and I would basically go, well, we can see that this is roughly going to take 6 months, 12 months, whatever. We can't do that anymore because what was the speed is now kind of been lowered because the teams are essentially smaller and stuff. And so we have to relearn and readjust that stuff to be able to give more accurate guesses.
We've got to look at how the gameplay, what we're talking about, ties in with those systems. And as you said, that changes the way we approach.
It's reading the tea leaves, but you can't read the tea leaves anymore because they've changed the plant. It's not tea anymore. It's coffee or whatever you want to call it. So
you've got to read the coffee grounds.
Yeah.
Daft Digit says, what ship would you like to see have a Star Kitten skin other than Kruger?
What ship other than Kruger? Well, it'd probably, I don't know. I think you could almost go around all the bikes, couldn't you? And do all the bikes.
I was thinking any racing ship. Like, to me, a Star Kitten is just a brand that lends itself to being a racing skin.
Something
with me, any racing ship.
Yeah, something with a big flat surface so you can put the cat on it. So someone suggested Polaris which would work. Across the hangar bay, you could have the big thing. It's not going to be for everyone, and obviously it's a bit of work to make the skins at the moment because they have to pull someone off something. I do think eventually there'll be skins for almost everything in that regard. Like, there'll be a time period where they come around and they make skins for, like, to fill out the game, and there will just be so many skins you won't know what to do with yourself. So yeah, I'm sure almost everything in the game will probably get one eventually. Especially now it looks like they're tailing it towards racing. I think we could agree that it would be a lot of the racing stuff would get it.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Star Kitten skin is just a racing variant, and I think part of the reason why the current Star Kitten skin looks so much like a racing skin is I think that's where Star Citizen or CIG have taken that thought. It's just a racing skin.
Yeah.
And so any ship that's a racing ship, the Razor, the P-5272, yes, I know they're Kruger.
Yeah.
The Mustangs, any of those, any ships that you want to use as a racing ship, I could see having one.
You can see ones that it probably won't work the best on, like say something like a Reclaimer. Like that wouldn't work so well because it's industrial and stuff like that. It's comical, but it's not exactly fitting to the needs. So yeah, I could probably see it on some faster ships though, like MSRs and some of the Crusader ships. But
I was also thinking Origin ships lend themselves to that because they've got wide surfaces for putting decals and other things on. So
again, luxury people do some pretty quirky stuff. So yeah, I could see that too.
It certainly makes your ship stand out. It's certainly not black.
Absolutely. Right. Chris says, hand weapons, armor suits, and subscriber flare LTI. There is no insurance associated with these items. Will it warrant or apply insurance to these items? I think that's a part of how it is at the moment. It's kind of separate. I've actually kind of always been curious why armor doesn't have LTI, because you would assume, like you're suggesting, that it would be covered by insurance, but it seems to be that they kind of wanted you to lose it and repurchase it, now I'm not so sure how it's going to work, because again, if you've brought items off the store, that now operates separately. So I've always just like retroactively, they should have just given anyone that brought armor like LTI and just roll it in with all the ships on the. It seems like they have a different plan for it, and it's never really quite been explained.
Yeah.
So they actually talked about that a little bit in the explaining of the different tiers of stuff. So like, especially with the way that insurance has gone since it was further fleshed out, is that like you won't ever be able to lose a ship that you pledged for.
Yep, they did talk about that.
It will.
But the suits
It
specifically,
may just come back and be broken. So I suspect it will be similar to that. Of you can reclaim the base of a Star Kitten racing suit, and you may have to take that to a crafting forge and
get it repaired
and fix it. So they gave you like a jalopy, and you have to go and fix it into what you want it to be.
Oh, that made Disco happy if I give him a jalopy.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a jalopy he couldn't fly. Otherwise, Disco would just take out his jalopy and fly it.
I will agree with Bob Smith's comment. They are the masters of vague. SA's giving you an 07 as well. Nice to see SA. Right. But yeah, they are very vague, and it does make it hard to read between the lines to work out what they're talking about. But even then, with what you said, Lemming, I don't think any of that's definite. So we need a. I think they don't know. To be honest, I think they're still kind of working it out.
I tend to think they want it to be anything. It'll end up being anything that's been paid for cash, that's been purchased in the store.
Well, he essentially came out and said if you lose. Yeah, exactly. He basically kind of said that if you spent money on my game, you'll get your ship back. I remember that comment. Yeah. And we always just assumed that if you had LTI, it would be quicker than if you didn't. So like a different delivery time. Like priority delivery or whatever. But again, as for actual armor and guns and all that, that's never really been fully elaborated. I think what Lemming's talking about there is a tip of the hat to it, but again, it's still a bit vague. So yeah,
I'd rather vague than the community take up pitchforks telling Sig that they lied.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
No,
because they don't lie.
No,
they give you the best information available.
Exactly.
At the time.
And some people hear the first word and then they jump the gun. I know that for myself from what happened this week with the Astropub stuff. Like, people heard what I said at the start, but didn't hear the nuance and the context that I repeated afterwards. And when you hear the whole thing in context, like, people are like going, "Oh, I absolutely agree with Execute and everything he said." And then the people that heard me at the start was like, "Oh, I couldn't listen to this anymore," and I stopped watching. And it's like, well, it's like just hearing the you guys would all seen it where they take something out of context and make them look like an absolute horse's ass. Well, that's kind of what happened. I just did it to myself. So yeah.
But so there's people in both YouTube and Twitch that are saying that they'll give us blueprints. Yes.
Yes.
I
agree.
Yep.
Yes. Very likely.
I could say, but yeah, you'll never fully lose what you paid for, whether they give us blueprints, whether you get it back in damaged state, whether it's. But I can't see. And my understanding is that CRG have always given the impression that if you spent cash on the game, you'd never lose what you paid for. So it'd never be fully gone. But what that means, can't tell you because I don't know. Yeah. And I think anyone who tells you they know for certain is lying through their rear end. So
yeah, I can probably tell you what they think it's going to be, but they definitely can't tell you for certain.
Yep, not at the moment. You think the Paladin will come out for Invictus? This is from Stefan Herbert.
I don't actually think we talked about the Paladin on the video we did this week. Realistically, it was concepted. Everything we kind of saw was very light grey boxing. I think if you were to be really hopeful, it would be the end of the year. But I'm going to be honest, I think it's more likely Invictus next year. If you add in the 18 months roadmap type stuff, I think that kind of pops out Invictus next year. Now, I don't know if that's in exactly how it's going to be. It's just looking at when they talked about the Paladin, like, there were all concept images. There was no kind of real art, as in 3D art. It was all concept stuff, right? Like it was really early day type of thing, and they didn't show any kind of 3D in any of the models or any of the videos or anything like that. The only 3D we actually had was the hologram model.
Yep.
And that tends to mean it was early days. Would you agree with that, Algared, or?
Usually, if it's further along, we get more stuff. So when you don't get a lot of stuff, and you've got the early images, it does tend to say it's at the beginning of the process.
Yeah.
It could come earlier. Like I agree. I do tend to think it's Invictus next year.
Yeah.
It could come earlier, but that depends on that 18-month window. Depends on did those data in secret.
Yeah. And that's the hard part to tell. But
that's the hard thing, we don't know.
But looking at it, like where it was announced, and giving a comparison, the Ironclad, when that was announced, that had already been working for 6 months. So they had the 3D files on the IC and they were flying around and stuff like that. So that had a lot more work done. None of that for the Paladin.
And so that's where we take the the dots and join them, and that's why we give it a longer lead time as to when it'll come.
Lemming took a big breath. He wants to say something.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was going to say that SIG often choreographs what they're looking at any given time. So like this week, the Valkyrie had pretty major cargo refactor done on it.
Yep.
Which is huge. And if you look at a Valkyrie and look at a Paladin side by side, they share a lot of the same work.
They are. So I would say they are. One of the military guys was saying to me, they do a lot of stuff like that in real life. They have the same hulls, but they have different, like they can have different armor. And I think you would agree, both of you would agree with me. Essentially, the Paladin is an armored Valkyrie. Is probably the easiest way to say it. Like it's a bit more than that, but that's the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that makes me think that they are likely in like the gray box-ish phase of the Paladin right now, and just kind of playing with stuff. So meaning I give the Paladin precisely a 0% chance of coming out at this year's Invictus.
Would you agree with us, because you add the 18 months, that it's most likely next Invictus?
Invictus hasn't been great for concepts coming out.
Or just okay. Well, I guess what I'm asking you is, when do you think the Paladin's coming? It's just your best guess, I know, but when do you think?
I would say AIE next year.
AIE next year? That's a really long time, but okay. Because normally it's 18 months. I still think they're trying to get one ship out a month this year, because we are on that credence at the moment. That said, though, what's new for Stella Fortuna? I know you can look at all the new skins, but there's no real, other than the racing suit, there's no new ship or vehicle. So maybe they've already broken that credence. Maybe we just got lucky from the start of the year. So we'll have to kind of wait and see if anything comes. Because again, if 4.1 drops, you would assume, Algared, that there's a new ship coming with that patch, would you not?
Well, in the past, when we've had major drops,
so that could be so that could be the ship for March as well. So you see where I'm going, right? We're still potentially on track for one ship a month. We'll have to wait and see that if that's the credence, and maybe the Paladin just comes on a random month next year. We'll have to wait and see.
Yep, that could well be.
Yeah, totally.
But as we said, looking at what we've been told in the past, looking at what we see and the evidence that's been worked on, I tend to think it is later. But if it started in secret, it could be earlier. But I don't see it as this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question. Any thoughts on the ramming changes?
That was the stuff we talked about earlier.
Yep.
We did talk about
I think it's a good thing. I think it's great that small ships cannot cause big ships to go boom straight away, or they do negligible damage, because it reminds me of there was a game where it was these fighters smashed into the hull of a big ship, and the bridge crew were, I think we've had minor impaction of asteroids on the hull, sir. That type of thing. It should be negligible.
I think it should be. I think it should make a difference between whether the shields are up or down as well.
Yeah.
So if the shields are down, and I think the damage should be localized, just like it was in the film.
Yep.
You know, if you crash into the bridge, yeah, you could possibly kill everyone. I think that, because think about it, how hard is it actually to ram a bridge? Like, you try and ram a
Yep.
Polaris, they're just going to turn. You know, it depends on where the bridge is located. Like an Idris bridge, I think would be easier to hit than a Polaris, as an example.
Yep.
But, yeah.
And that's where the Origin 890 jump comes into play, because it's got a secondary bridge.
Yeah.
So you blow up the main run. Hey, I'm downstairs in the battle bridge, so I'm cool. I've still got control. So, yeah. What's your favorite armor suit on the Pledge store or subscriber store?
From Citizen Ninja.
And what's from Citizen Ninja?
Favorite armor. I'd have to go look.
I can do mine.
Yeah, I'm not a subscriber, so I wouldn't know.
The light up shoes armor that came at AIE. It has like neon around the soles of the shoes.
You get a picture of that?
Yeah.
Can you send me a picture of that?
Yeah.
I've never seen those before. They sound very cool. I'll have to get Algared to get me a pair.
Yep.
I think it's when you were asleep from after your hibernation from AIE.
Yeah, probably.
I actually like the Tavaran skin, the ones that have the Tavaran look. I quite like those ones.
Yeah, I've never even heard of those shoes. I must have missed them completely in my my slumber. Okay.
Yes, we do remember the A-wing that crashed into the bridge from chat. It was after it had already been damaged, I think. So, but yes, we do remember the A-wing. I think that's where people get the idea of smashing into a ship and in the bridge.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of my favorite armor. I think the one I wear a lot in the game is the black and red ones. I wear those a lot. The Xeno Threat one, I don't mind that either because it's black and red. Let's say I have any particular like ones that I'm blown away by. I did like the kind of look of the one that came from the subscriber flare this month, but it's in green. That was the only reason
I just put it up on Twitch.
Wait, is this it here? Hang on, someone's Just a Riot sent me an image, so I'm wondering if this is it. Wait, it's very small. I'll have to zoom in. But is that it? Is that the one?
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I did see those. I just didn't realize they loaded up. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not a fan of that one. It reminds me of the
Well, the best in show, aren't they?
It reminds me of that very first.
Aren't they the best in show skins, Lemmy?
Yeah, they came out on Armor. On Armor/Best in Show Day.
Yeah, I'm over the purple. I was really disappointed that we got a second year of purple, to be honest with you.
Yeah. To me, it looks ghastly.
Yeah. Some of the
Halloween... The only nice thing is the neon highlights of the
some of the Halloween skins have been pretty cool, like the Vandal mask, the Parasite helmet with the googly eye.
Yep.
Things like that. I know that's a big one of Piggle's favorites is that helmet. Yeah, there's been some good ones, but like yeah, I don't know. It's nothing that's particular spoken to me. I do like a lot of the older pirate ones. Remember the bounty hunting one they had that almost made you look like Predator that never came into the game? Do you remember that one?
Oh, vaguely.
I'd
have to go back and have a gander.
I'm going to come up real quick.
Find it.
This one. It's really tiny, but can you see that or not?
Yep.
That's a really, really old image.
If I look at it, it reminds me a bit like a Predator.
Yeah, as I said, Predator. It's kind of like Predator, but they never. Yeah, see, whatever happened to some of these armors? Yeah, see, they just didn't come out. That's why. Those ones are out.
Also a concept.
Yeah. No, that last one is fully modeled. I just think they've kept it for something else. It's probably held over for bounty hunting or something like that.
Yeah.
But I just love the look of that one. So that's the type of shit that speaks to me. It's just not there yet. So this is another really good example of waiting. Why is Citizen Ninja being timed out? Is he posting image links? Stop posting links. Just allowing remove timeout on. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
is that what he's doing? He's posting links to.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's just posting like he or she is fine.
Yeah. We had to do.
Hey.
Sorry about that, Ninja, but like we had when we first started streaming, we had a lot of let's just call them sex bots coming in and posting all these adult links, and if you don't get rid of them, Twitch and YouTube go off at you. So.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Socially confused. That's a question for us.
Yep.
Are there any new mineable gems going to be for crafting? The text seems to hint at that.
I think eventually you'll get a lot more materials across the board, but I haven't really been keeping an eye out for that, to be honest. That yeah, you probably know more than I would in that regard.
Yep, I tend to think that what we'll see the mineable gems being useful for being used in different things, whether it's to enhance a laser or a beam, or yeah, we'll see them having use and value, and yeah, that's about all I can say.
Yeah.
Tomificated. I have a question. Tomificated says, do you think the devs have ships done ready to release? And are they going through tech depth on legacy ships that need polish pass on engineering and components?
Yeah, I think they do very strategically release ships at sale times or at the appropriate time to maximize funding. I think that is very wise. And realistically, you also need a ship might be finished. Like I would put this to you and Lemming, the Marky Mark or the E1. I think we both agree they are done, but they're not going to be released because they don't have their associated gameplay, for example.
I don't think they are, because I don't think they know what they're exactly going to do with bounty hunting.
What I mean,
so
what I mean is,
I think it's 90%.
Okay, well, I think they're done. I think they're fully modeled, just sitting there ready to go. And I think it's the same thing with the E1. I think they're, because again, in the time it takes to get them done, I can't see why they wouldn't have someone just get them all done and just and have them sitting there, unless they are unsure of the gameplay, right? But we know from the concepts that they had heavily worked on with the new pods on the Marky Mark, and we also saw them redoing the Hawk. So, like, if you had someone, like, if you wouldn't get someone to go back and rework another ship if you were not sure how bounty hunting was going to work. And by the same, it's the same thing on the E1. The E1, you kind of know how NPCs are going to work on other ships, and it's literally 6 seats in an elevator. Like, it's not a lot of, it's not rocket science, is what I'm trying to say. So, I think a window in the E1 is probably the most complicated part of that whole thing, because you got to change the exterior. So maybe there is a little extra work on the E1 when I think about it, because of the window, because I've got to do the exterior different. But again, I can't see why you wouldn't just roll that in and do it at the same time for speed, because going off something and coming back, you've got to kind of relearn where you're up to. It's just better to roll through and do them all in one hit. And I just know that's just from my time working on models and stuff like that. But they may have a slightly different workflow. Lemming could be correct in that, and they may have to start due to coding and other things coming as well. I can't make that call because I don't work at CIG.
But it's similar to the Starlancer. The various Starlancers that we think are pretty much done or very, very close to done.
Yeah. And
they're not out because the gameplay's not there. Like,
yeah. And that I think we can probably agree that the there's probably more internal reworks between, say, Attack and a Max than there is between a Marky Mark and the other Zeuses. Like, I know they have different rooms and stuff, but it's really just like when you've already got the ES and the CL, and they are the two drastic ones. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Marky Mark was the one in the middle. You do the math, it's, you know what I mean? Like, you can kind of tell that it was probably already done. Yeah. Again, I think we're talking about something trivial here, but the point is, yeah, I think we'd agree there are definitely ships that are done that sit and wait for release. For example, I know when they did the Spirit, it technically was done around July, August, but it didn't release until Citizen-Car. And that was the C1, right? So, you know, even though, say they did do the C1, the E1, and the A1, they wouldn't have all finished on the same time. They would have, you know, they could have been a week or two apart or a month apart or whatever, you know. So one has to sit and wait for the others to come out before they can sell them, type of thing, or release them. So yeah.
Oh no, somebody just boosted the wrong Discord server.
No,
Can you change your boost?
No, I don't know, but man, yeah, I really wish you hadn't linked that.
I'm sorry.
That happens.
Here, let me go kill that thing so that it won't work.
Yeah, kill the link. Whoever was it boosted? Who was it? Can I see who the boosters are?
I don't want to call them out, but the names.
No, I just want to tell them so they can change it. I feel bad now. Oh my god, who was that? And I can't see who the boosters are. That's really annoying. I'll turn the progress bar off though, so people.
I just killed all of the invite links. So
yeah. Yeah, whoever just boosted the server, obviously you're watching. Or maybe post something in general. Don't boost this server on this on that server. Yep. Yeah.
And put a link to the other server.
Yeah. Yeah. That was probably yes. Apologies to whoever did that. Hopefully you can move it. If you can't, you'll have to wait like a month or so. That sucks. All right, next question, please, Algared.
Locked In has a question for us.
Mm-hmm.
Locked In says, do you think the ship weapons being swapped to pilot control on several ships is a test for the Paladin?
Yeah, test for the Paladin.
I think it's linking into the Corsair and, you know, getting pilot control weapons and stuff.
Yeah, but why is it for the Paladin? Why is it a test for the Paladin specifically? That makes no sense to me.
I would guess because it's a gunship, but I hold, and I've continually held, that I don't think that ships like the Connie, the Corsair, should have all their big guns controlled by the pilot. I've always said that those ships, those multi-crew ships where you've got turrets, the turrets should be the ones that have the bulk of the weaponry to give your crew things to do. Now people have come back and said, oh, but engineering will give them things to do. But if your pilot's controlling all the weaponry and you've got crew, to me it just feels like, it just doesn't feel right. And I'll you know, yes, I say it about the Corsair, but I equally think it's true for Connie, where Connie's got 54 missiles plus.
It's kind of why I asked the question, because realistically, the Paladin's built for 4 people, 3 gunners and 1 pilot. Like yes, you can slave them all to pilot, but like that's in a pinch. It's not what it's meant to do, and it's like,
whereas
you and I keep coming back to UV Way. That link is not going to work. Can you link UV Way a Discord link, please, on Twitch?
Yeah. I can also go turn off that command.
No,
let me go do that.
Well, as long as you can turn it back on, because again, if we get those boosts, it'll work again.
I can.
So that's but UV Way, it's just wait and Lemming will get you one. As for the Paladin, I think the example that I'd give is me and you in the Hurricane. We've found that when someone's concentrating on flying, then they can actually put the ship in a better position to shoot shit.
Yeah, and it builds that communication between the pilot and the gunner, and the Hurricane is a really great ship for that. And I find that on ships where the pilot's got the bulk or equal gunnery power, the pilot doesn't give a damn about the gunner. That's just my feeling. And I've always felt for a Connie, It's a great chip, but the Connie's main guns are controlled by the pilot. The pilot move, they're not gimbal, they're not on turrets. They just fire forward, so the pilot's got control of them.
Yeah, Lemming, I just found your old message for the Discord and I pinned it. All right, so Pissball Pete recommended we pin it. I don't think you can pin in YouTube though, but yeah, someone asked on YouTube, we'll post it again.
Yep. So yeah, so I've always thought that the Connie is probably in some sense worse. In some ways, it's worse than the Corsair because the pilot's got control of all the missiles and those 4 size 4s.
But it doesn't.
In another way, the Connie's slightly better because it's got the P-52, which needs another pilot.
But he also doesn't have control of the 2 turret guns as well. So it's just different how it works. But I get your point. Your point still stands. Right.
So I'd like to see the balance of those weapons more.
Shem Pastor says, do you have any recommendations for CIG regarding communication interacting with the community? Geez. How to interact with the community. I think my only recommendation, I sent a message last year to Xylo, and that I'm not going to say what I said, but that's the only time I've ever felt compelled to reach out to CIG about messaging. They were talking about some very negative people, and I said you should be talking about the people that talk about your game positively, not giving airtime to people that talk about shit negatively, because it was affecting other content creators, and that's what my message was. I said, like, you're making poor decisions, and it's going to change the way people talk about you. Like, if you're promoting negative people, that sends the message that, oh, if I talk negative about CIG, they'll talk about me too.
Yep.
And that was the message I sent.
And at that time, you were actually seeing that happen. You were seeing more people talk.
But I was hearing it from people too in real time. Some fairly big content creators were saying, oh, I'm going to start talking negatively about CIG.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, this is not good.
Yep. And so you were seeing videos come out that were negative, but you're also seeing the content creators saying the same thing. And it was like,
Apparently we hit level 3, Lemming. You want to check? Apparently, according to Dark, who was it? No, Tesla Coil said we hit level 3. So we're back to boosted. Nice. Is that true? Lemming? Lemming. Hello? Is this thing on?
I'm doing stuff.
Click faster!
Yeah, have a look.
Click like your life depends on it.
I see we're at level 2 and 1 away from level 3.
Okay, so we're very close to it. Yeah, mine says the same thing. So we're 1 away from getting back to where we were. But it's a shame that person spent theirs in the wrong place, or we would have been there. Oh, well, that's a shame. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. No, I'm not normally that harsh on Lemming. He knows I'm teasing him. He knows how to handle me. Trust me, after all the stress I went through of losing my Discord account, Lemming well and truly knows how to handle me. He was quite eloquently putting me in my place once or twice. And I had to I even apologized, didn't I, Lemming?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because I was stressing the fuck out real bad. And Lemming was...
I mean, when somebody's dragging your name through the mud, I think that's...
Yeah.
If you're ever gonna freak out, I think that's an acceptable time too.
Yeah, but I there was a couple of times where I lost my composure, and then I realized that I was, you know, when you vent in the wrong direction, that's what it was. I vented at Lemming, and I went, "You didn't deserve that. That's I'm venting that at the hacker, but you're receiving it." And I said, and I apologize. But yeah, still. You got it though, like, you know why I was doing it, but I still felt compelled to apologize because it wasn't your fault in any way.
Yeah, we worked out that X and I react to stress in pretty much the same way. We just have different triggers.
Mine's heat and noise. I think I'm learning that a lot with my family at the moment. Like, I don't like, and you guys will probably be able to relate to this. I don't like a lot of background noise. It seems to drive me nuts. Like I pick up on a lot, like when I, call out your dogs barking in the background or whatever, Algared, stuff like that. I just really distracts me. I'm not a big fan of that, and I think that's part of my bipolar. I've never really kind of noticed it, but now I'm noticing it more and more. Like when I'm on the phone, if someone's talking, oh, that is like an absolute pet hate for me. When I'm trying to listen and then someone else is, you know what I mean? Like when you're getting two songs at once, that drives me batshit. So yeah. Anyway, next question, Algared, if you would be so kind.
Noble Knight 747 says, what will be the interaction between skins and outfit utility systems? Devs have plans for specialized outfits for us. Why buy cosmetics without knowing how they will affect stats?
I'll let you answer that one because I've got to do something.
Yeah, well, I think some of those cosmetics, like I think racing skins and racing suits, the plan is that they will have that kind of G-force ability to help you not black out in those tight corners. We know that they'll have mining outfits which will have a mining hut, which will enhance your ability to mine. We know that they've talked about HUDs for fighters, but that's generally all we can do. And so again, you can only go by what they've said and what they've planned, and make the best choice. Make your choices based on the information you've got at hand. And if you feel the information isn't good enough, then don't buy. Yeah.
As Lemming, do you know what we kind of have as a plan for the other clone Discord? Will we just archive it, so to speak? Like anyone that's on there can stay on there, but we'll basically just stop doing stuff with it and always just leave it there as a spare. Is that the plan, or
leave it as a recording channel?
That's been a nightmare today because I have to switch between the two Discords.
Yeah, I'm doing it too, bro. Don't you worry. And because the icons were the same as because that's what I just did there. I sent Lemming an echo and an icon and said, use this one because the other one is driving me batshit. Because they're both green at the moment.
Which one am I going to go into?
Yeah, they're both green at the moment. So I deliberately sent him a white and blue one, which is the opposite of the blue. That one. It's the opposite of that one. So
the one
now tell. Yeah.
Support the Stella Fortuna skinned Discord.
Yeah.
If you want to
boost it. Yeah. So the one, I can open this in browser real quick. So this is the one that you don't want to boost. That one, and if I go into my files, I can open the other one. Just give me a second. This one, and where's the Stella Fortuna? It's this one, open with Firefox. So that's the one you want to back, because that's the Stella Fortuna one I made. They look so much cooler when they're big like this, but they're really.
They do. I didn't really realize you had clovers in there.
Yeah. You can't see any of that shit. I go into insane detail in some of them.
Blurb.
Yeah. I go into just to show you the level I go to sometimes, right? And this is just, I'm not going to go through all of them. But these are just the variants I did for St. Patrick's Day, right? Opening the next one. And this is all just trying to find color theory that would stand out. So you can see, they're all just variants of each other, but stuff like that. And I do that with everything. So I've got
he does.
New Year's, Easter, Valentine's Day, and I've got multiples of each of them, even different years. I do different Christmas years and stuff like that. I've got a whole I can show you two. Wait, actually,
he does the same type of thing with the thumbnails.
Yeah.
Is that pixel right?
Yeah.
What pixel? What pixel are you talking about, X? Oh, this one. I didn't see it until you pointed it out. So yeah.
If I do that and then go here, I should be able to open with Firefox. So there's all the variants of everyone I've ever done. It doesn't even fit on the screen properly, but yeah. So that's a lot of different logos that I've done over the years.
Yep. It is.
So, yeah. A lot of them didn't make the cut, did they? Lemming. I did.
Yeah, I haven't seen most of these.
Yeah, so I did the punching glove ones, and then Lemming said, "Oh, you should have made it look like the Ship Showdown logo." So then I redid it to look like. They have good suggestions. I run it past a lot of the guys too and
Yep.
say, what do you think of this one? And they're like, oh, that's all shit. Or they'll vote between the variants and pick one a lot. So yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Next question
please.
is from Bowler99999999, and they say, "What are your thoughts on the Banu NPC?"
We haven't seen him yet. He's gonna be like the collector. That's kind of cool and
Yep.
a bit cliche at the same time. But I do like the style of the Banu buildings on the outside. That's something we haven't seen before. Very Middle Eastern. Very Persian, if you've seen that. Almost a bit Jabba the Hutt's palace as well, if you've seen that. And then I actually kind of like the way he talks too. It's very you know how you hear an Asian person with broken English talk and they disjointed? It's a little bit like that. You need ship land ship now, good. You know, like that's kind of how he talks, a little bit like that. It's not exactly like that, but you get where I'm going.
I'd like to see the occasional Banu cuss word when you try to do a bad deal.
Yeah.
You know.
Some of the little lines that he has in his things are great. So it says, like, one of the things I've actually got an image I sent to you that I could probably open here and show. Hang on. The one I sent to you. When did I send it to you?
I think it's the difference between.
I sent it. Can you open it on Manacle Mine? Because I sent it to you on my alt account. Oh shit, Algared's got someone who's doing great. Typical. Timing. Yeah, sorry, Lemon, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's a lot due to a language that doesn't translate one for one.
Yep.
So, like, the verbs don't agree with the nouns the same way that they do in English.
Yeah.
So,
Well, again, that's the same thing with Asian people. They
Right,
have
exactly.
certain, like R's and L's they don't have in their language, and they replace them with W's a lot. You try and get someone that speaks Chinese, as an example, say the word really, and they go weary, because they replace it with W's because that's the sound they know. And I've lived with a lot of people. Like, I live in a share house, and I always try and get them to do more animalistic sounds. So, for example, with R, I say, can you growl like a bear? Like, grrr. And I get them to replace it with G. And once they kind of get that G to the R going, then they start speaking R a lot better. And then they can do R. L is a lot harder because of the way your tongue hits the top of your mouth. L, it's something they've got to learn a little bit more. So you've got to try and find someone that's
tend to be more difficult than
exactly.
and some plosives are.
So you know all the fancy words. I don't know what the fancy words are to call this stuff. I've just learned it naturally through teaching people. So I was glad you know what they are.
Plosive is like the letter P. So when you say the word, you get that explosion.
Well, that's what causes why you need the windsocks and that on your mics, because of the P's. They need to be filtered.
So they're the plosives. You can actually see them.
Just while I remember, because I'm going to forget, can you go into the Manacle Mine messages I sent you, and that's where the photos of Wilco's were that I sent you, because I went to look at them. It was on my other account. So can you open the photos and then resend them to me on Execute, please? There was 4 photos, I believe, I sent you last week.
I don't have them.
No, you don't. I'm talking to Algared.
Talking to me.
There was 4 photos I sent you, and I just want to show the ones of the hologram there, if you can send those, and the castle. There should be 4 of them I sent in total from memory. If you found them, just copy paste them over to me, and then I'll show them on stream. But yeah, I don't know. I like him so far. And the other thing I think a lot of people might have missed too, right, in the hype of the Banu, is they're putting the other ones in. So like Pachinko at Area 18, right? Because they obviously realized when they were going to put the stuff in that the server meshing wasn't working properly, and so therefore NPCs weren't working properly. So putting mission givers in was a complete waste of time. Now you're seeing the NPCs walking around everywhere. It's working properly. So now they can go put mission givers in. So you'll get Clover Star Nearly at Lawville, Algared's janitor. You'll get Pachinko.
I mean, he's taking out the trash, definitely.
That's a burn, Algared. I think he got you good there. Or he's taking out his hair anyway. There's the lady that has the metal leg at Levski. We won't see her until Nynx. Who there's the drug guy that I'm forgetting at Grimhex. What's his name?
Oh yeah, I can't.
You know the one I'm talking. No, he's not at Grimhex.
Yeah.
He's at Grimhex, or is he at
Well,
wasn't he at Levski as
well?
well?
There's a guy at Grim Hex, and then there's a female in ArtCorp.
Female at ArtCorp. No, I don't know about the one at ArtCorp. I know the one at Microtech.
She's the drug one.
No, he's at the tower. He's at oh god, there's so many of them. There's the guy from Hurston that's actually in the tower at Hurston. Microtech has the guy at the bar. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to go back and have a look at that. So Wallace Clem, thank you. Piss4 Pete, that's it. He's the drug guy. So there's quite a few, right? So if you look up, actually, maybe I can do this on the fly. Give me a second. Star Citizen, what, quest givers?
I didn't know that's what goes on in that cave, Pete.
Category. Wait. Hey, here we go. We've actually got a. So this is a wiki leak. Mission givers: Clover Starneely, Constantine Hurston. So they're the two that are at Lawville. Devin Booster is an officer within Crusader Security. So he's obviously at Horizon somewhere. Eddie Parr. That's the bartender I was talking about at Microtech. Lisa Gibbs is an officer within Crusader Security, another one that I haven't heard of. Luca Brunt is an organizer and collector bets on the races at Grimhex. There you go. Miles Eckhart, yeah, we know about him. He was the kind of first one. Is owner and primary point of contact for their NPC Eckhart Security. He acts as a mission giver in gameplay, offering both lawful. So see where he's located. Doesn't actually say. Rico Battaglia, that's the chick with the metal leg. That she'll be at Nyx. Rowan DeHooley, well, we know who that is. That was Ruto. He's also at Grimhex. He is the hologram. Tia Pachenko is the one at Area 18 that I was talking about. They're going to put her hair in as well, so she'll probably not look like that. She'll probably actually have her hair in, hopefully. Tessa Bannister. Now that's one thing I do want to talk about. No. They've found things about her in the files. So she's most likely coming back.
Well, if you look at what they found in the files, it's not good for her.
Oh, really? What can you give us a hint?
I may be mistaken, so it's probably better if I don't.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
and
we hope you're not mistaken. Yeah, she is a fan favorite.
Yeah, Wallace Clem and Vaughn. Vaughn is an alias of Shadow Industrial or Group. So there's actually quite a few. There's more than I thought there was. So if they put all these guys back in, and Wilco, he's going to end up being called Wilco, but the Banu, what's his name? Wallace or something? Or I can't butcher his name. Did you find those images, Algared, or not?
Yeah, I actually sent them to the recording channel because it was the easiest way to forward them. Look at the chat in our recording channel.
Yep, got them. Yeah, so this is the one I wanted to talk about specifically. Let me open this in browser, and that should. There we go. So this one here. So there's this trade now, trade often, right? Cool banner line and banner script. But down here behind my head, there's this line. You can't read it, but it's really cool. It says things left behind will become property of Weekalo. It's really quite funny. So it's just like, yeah, you leave your ship behind, it's mine, bitch. You know, shit like that.
So leave your ship, I'm claiming it.
Yeah. So yeah. And this is what all the hangars look like. They're quite fancy with his face up there. So you've actually got to do some missions, and eventually there's a door behind Algared's head there that you can go through. And some people have kind of done things to get through the door. There's little tricks you can do. And when you get into that room, there's all these animals that are in the system. So it's a kind of like a clone of the Collector, but nowhere near on the scale of the Collector, because the Collector's like thousands of boxes. This guy's got probably 20. But it's meant to emulate what they're going for there. Let me see if I can open this. Yep, go ahead.
So we just got the last boost to level 3.
Woohoo! Nice. Yeah, apologies whoever boosted the other server. Maybe we can find out who it is and give them a boosted roll on this one anyway. Because I kind of feel bad about that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll do that.
Yeah, please. So this is the actual. That one's not the best one. This is probably the better one. Yeah, this is the one. So this is what the actual buildings look like, and you can see what I mean about like Jabba's palace and Middle Eastern. It is its own style, but you can kind of see how it's inspired for those things I was mentioning. And so these are the asteroid. He's kind of like got I think there's 2 or 3 asteroid bases in Stanton, and they're pretty easy to find. They're just up. Well, this one was just off the edge of Hurston. So if you zoom right into Hurston, and even closer than the moon, you can kind of see if the map's in its default orientation, it's just off to the right, and you can see this little cluster of asteroids, and it's actually between the moons and Hurston. That's how close it is, and you can just click on this, warp there, and this is what you'll find. And then you can call for landing access, and you'll see the big alien head.
It probably also means that pirates actually will end up having a safe place to land when they don't have anywhere to land.
I never thought of it
Could
like
be,
that.
maybe.
So nice of you to think of the enemy, Algared. Yeah.
Hey, I think of a game and the gameplay, even if I don't like it. The gameplay, that is, not the game.
But it is kind of cool to see an actual 3D model of an alien. We've seen all those pictures for so many years. It does make it more sci-fi. You know, like we've just had humans for so long.
Yep.
It now has entered the sci-fi. I know that's a weird thing to say because it's such a futuristic spaceship game. But
I'd love to see Tavaran. I'd love to see, and certainly in Squadron 42, I'd love to see Tavaran crew somewhere. Because
is that because you're so plucky and you love feathers?
No. I do like some Kentucky Fried Tavaran, yes. But no, it's because in the lore, Tavaran often have a choice of join the military or go to prison, and a lot join the military. Even Senator Koss had served in the military. He's a war hero.
Yeah.
So if there's supposed to be so many Tavaran in the Navy serving on the ships, why don't we ever see any?
Yeah.
So it's that type of.
I reckon they'll turn up in Squadron 42 and other places. So yeah. But I do know someone's planning to do a cosplay for CitizenCon type of thing, and they were talking to me about it, and I said, like, he was asking me different opinions, and I said, look, if you could pull off a Tavaran, like feathers and all, that would be epic. And I said you'd only really have to do the head, because you could put it in UEE uniform, or you could do the Tavaran armor or whatever like that, so you could actually hide all the other feathers. That'd be kind of cool. And
that would certainly
it'd be almost as much makeup as it would be, you know, and prosthetics.
Could you imagine doing the makeup for it?
Yeah, it'd be makeup and prosthetics, I'm sure. But you work in a CitizenCon and you look like a Tavaran, like, awesome. That'd be mad.
You that would be like,
especially if you could probably
you'd be the most popular photographed person at CitizenCon, I think.
Talk to some of the law guys and language guys and see if you can kind of get an accent for it down. That'd be kind of cool too. Talk a little bit like them as well. That'd be, because you know how when they apparently a couple of years ago at one of the CitizenCons they had booths that were like themed. That's what, you know, humans great, but if you'd had a Tavaran there or a Banu, like actually that's what I'd love to see as a theme. You know, like and you know, I know they had noodles and stuff that they were selling at the I think it was the LA one and stuff like that.
A CitizenCon held at Wilco's.
Yeah.
With everything done like the Tavaran, like the Banu's mercantile shop.
See, that'd be kind of cool, actually. One of the AIEs or the Invictuses is just like off the cuff. Maybe, you know how we talked about having ones that were at the other points of the year, so you could actually have 4 sales a year? What if when it's Wilco's Emporium of Wonder sale?
Yeah, Williams Emporium of Wonder. Yeah, I can see it.
And it's it's the opposite of Invictus. It's like all this stolen like all
Yeah,
the
everything's stolen
industrial
or,
ships. And,
unclaimed.
well, if you, so you'd have one like that that's like the bad guy sale or the the kind of Drake sale, but then you'd probably have one that's all the industrial ships, because that's literally the two sales that I think that are missing when you have just Invictus. But it'd be interesting. Like, I think that'd be kind of funny. Welcome to, and you'd have the. Do you remember that? What was it in the Oh, I'm gonna butcher this. The pirate game, and you'd go down to the. It was a really old game made by LucasArts, and I'm absolutely butchering it. Oh, what is the name of it? And you got the ship salesman, and he talks with his hands like a million miles an hour. I just you just see Wilco doing that. Welcome to the ship things emporium. It'd be really good if they had 4 arms, wouldn't it? You know, like.
I sadly I see Banu as now that you've done that, as those windsock advertising people. You know, the ones that blow the air in and they wobble all over the place. That's now you've got me seeing Banu looking like that. Thank you for that horrible view.
Secret of Monkey Island. That's the name of the game. I was trying to remember what it was. It's in one of the very first. It's either the Secret of Monkey Island or the Return of the Secret of Monkey Island. Thank you, Boogie. You got it as well. Yeah, a few of you guys got it. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so that was a long-winded answer to Bowler's question of what we thought about the bad BC. We like it.
Yes.
We'd like to see more.
Yes.
Socially confused. Have you seen the Have you seen the info on the new mission giver? If so, how much playability do you think the missions will have?
See, previous question.
The same thing.
The missions are basically real simple at the moment. I did have a graphic somewhere. Give me a second. If I can get onto, I know I posted it in this server the other day. Hang on, let me find it. Hi, John and Rice. Yes, I am on your server right now. I can see you guys talking there, and you're probably listening to me. It's okay. I'm just here ravaging your server. It's fine. No, just kidding. Open. No. Yeah, there we go. So there was this image that kind of shows how you can do quests. So basically, you're handing in stuff to him, and they give you stuff. Now, apparently, this big ship surprise there, that middle one, or the super big ship one, or whatever it is like a Polaris. So you can actually hand stuff in, and he'll give you weapons and stuff. And they're real simple things like, get me these rare items. So again, anything new that turns up, like artifacts and stuff like that, you can see going into the game down the line. They bring out a new item. Oh, he'll become interested in it. So this is a quest giver that can actually get new quests as the game grows, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah, because as a collector, I can see that also being the purpose, you know, giving purpose to things like those archaeological finds.
Exactly. That's a really good point.
Everything has purpose.
Yeah. And so you can all, you know, they've got mission givers they can go to as well. So I really do like this.
Having just thought of that, it also gives a reason for possibly picking up Crash and other stuff and giving him the stuff. And, you know, maybe he wants it and recycles it. And...
Maybe that's Nova Star Nearly. He's the salvage guy. Think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I want you to go.
We'll take those type of stuff.
Why don't you go over to Seraphim for me and clean up these ships around there and return the salvage to me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, and so how do we deal with the permanence of stuff? Well, we actually incentivize players to collect it and clean it.
Same thing with the Wallace Klim guy. Like he can, like, you know, getting your drugs from Jumptown. You've got a guy to go to now to actually hand your stuff in. It's starting to make a lot of sense when you connect all the dots, isn't it? Like you can look at the gameplay and almost see that there's an NPC that's already there to go with it. Who would the mining guy be? Just out of curiosity, I can't.
That would be the.
I would have thought the woman at Levski, but
at Nix.
That's not in yet.
Well, she did. You'll remember some of the early missions she used to give were mining related.
Yep.
You know, go get these guys are doing this. Go clear them out. I could see that being a mining related issue.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So maybe when she comes in, I don't know, but maybe they'll just put her missions on a terminal. Tessa was a lot more exploratory.
Yeah, she was the interstellar cartography, so she's all about mapping. And
I'd say she's more tied in with the scanning stuff. I reckon the security people could be tied in with bounty hunting.
Yep.
Medical. Medical. I didn't really see anyone medical. The Hurston guy did a lot of hauling and delivery stuff. Yeah, there's something there for everyone. And again, with how quickly we've kind of seen this turnaround of Wicklow, they could make more too if they needed to.
Yep, there's nothing stopping them create more NPC characters.
What? Okay. Theoretical speculation, stupidity time. Chat, get involved on this one. If Old Man Hurston was an NPC, what would his missions be? It'd have to be Uwe girls and slaving would be one. What else?
I'm not into slavery.
Bullshit. Yeah, finding new workers. That's what you'd call it. Finding new workers. Indentured servitude.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. It would have to be selling Evercrack.
It would be finding new people, like transporting people to Hurston, so it could be transport missions, but it would also be bounty hunting, like returning workers that escaped.
I could see that being very very Hurston. But Old Man Hurston is often talked about being
Uber Eats, someone says.
building Hurston as the breadbasket of
distilling suspicious brandy. Pissball pizzas. Lemming, what's one that you think that would sit Old Man Hurston if you're still around? Internal silence. Okay, he's gone. Let me have a look.
The recruiting of additional Uwu girls.
Yes, definitely. I said the same thing. So yeah.
I think it's a sale of Evercrack.
Yeah,
that's the first one.
Yeah. Where would you get Uwu girls from? Grimhex, I think maybe Grimhex, or even Wilco might sell some bounty slaves. So
we don't do slavery. That's illegal in the UEE. We abide by the law. You should know that by now.
Oh,
indentured servants, is that better, Algared?
Oh,
indentured we don't have indentured servants like Babanu. We actually have contracted servants, people who have signed a contract and they work for us where they get paid. We do offer great first-rate first aid and medical, but yeah.
So I can share this line here that Lemming sent me that was from the leaks, but I actually think that you're right, Lemming. I think that's a little bit spoilerish. I think.
Yeah, that's why I decided not to.
Yeah, I think like I'll leave that for you guys if you want to go look at the leaks and find for yourself, because that is yeah, I don't want to spoil that for you, but yeah, that could be a rescue thing though. Think of it that way, Lemming. I think it might be a rescue mission actually. Like, sure. and because she's so popular, if they set it up like, oh, if you rescue her, she'll come back. But if you don't rescue her, well, too bad.
We didn't. Yep.
So they're going to use it as a motivation. I reckon that's what it is. I reckon it's going to be a motivational thing. And it might even be the reward at the end of the chain at working with the Banu. If you do the math, you get to pick a reward. You can pick this or you can pick this, and if enough of us pick that, then she comes back.
Enough of us. Save Bennett. Save her from being an indentured slave of the Banu.
I'll send you it, Algared, so you can see what we're talking about. But like, I am just speculating here by the absolute seat of my pants. But that's the line. Don't read it out loud, obviously.
I heard you say read it out loud.
Yeah, read it out loud. It'd be your fault. Yeah. 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 I think that's kind of interesting. Right. I'll do a question, Algared, while you're reading that, if that's okay with you. Stream questions. What do we got to here? Addicted off to Dr. Reanimator says, have you guys tried playing Battlestar Galactica, the board game? I highly recommend it if you like the show and board games. And now I can recommend every board game under the sun that is better than Battlestar Galactica, because yes, I have, and there are a lot of cool games that have that mechanic. The only problem with the Battlestar Galactica board game is it goes for too bloody long, right? The actual spy mechanism is amazing, but you can actually put that into other games and they work heaps quicker, and you can boil down the whole fun. There's the pinnacle one was it's right behind me. Destroying Illusion. Hold on. Go through the collection here. Perception, Murder in Hong Kong has a similar one. Can you hear me still? Oh shit, I'm too far from the mic, aren't I?
Yep.
It's Avalon. That's the name of the game. Avalon is the one I'm thinking of. It's the you basically, it's like Merlin and Arthur and stuff like that. But basically, you go out on missions, and it really boils down what happens in Battlestar Galactica to like a 15-minute game. Way more, way more interesting. Have you played ones with spy mechanics? Algared or Lemming? Nope. Algared's not a big board gamer. He's more of a miniature painter.
I'm a miniatures
yeah.
gamer. You know, Blood and Plunder, Bats, Napoleon Battles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ancients.
Yeah. So yeah, the sweet spots for most games, especially when you got families and stuff, is like an hour max. And I've been to many different board gaming clubs, and yeah, there are some people that love to sit and play 6-hour games. But realistically, you're not going to get most games to the table if you take longer than an hour. And unfortunately, Battlestar Galactica is cool, but you can get this, as I said, you can get the same thing out of games like Avalon, and there's a few others that I could sit here and rattle off. But that's so that, like, to give an example, that Deception Murder in Hong Kong is actually a crime scene investigation where one person is the murderer and they're playing with everyone else. And then there's the person that's the forensic investigator. And if at the end of the game, the murderer can pick the forensic investigator, they also win. And basically at the start of the game, there's a person that's narrating the whole game. And it is better if you have a narrator with a lot of these games. Mafia is another version of these spy games. You've heard that term. But basically, with the crime scene stuff, you're picking. It's almost like Cluedo. You pick a murder weapon. There's a couple of things you pick. I think it's 2 things. You pick 2 things. One on your front row, one on your back row, or whatever. And one's like a clue, and one's like a murder weapon. And basically, the person that's the narrator is also putting these clue tiles down, and they've kind of got to like very subtly point to things. So it might say some things like the murder appeared at night, right? And they're putting these tiles down that kind of at least give you clues in the direction of it. And sometimes you can, if you don't look at all the other clues on the table, you can literally misdirect to the wrong person. So it might be there's 3 different weapons that were murders at night type of thing. And so they're all arguing and debating over what you're trying to point to. And it's just really interesting because sometimes they all get it and sometimes it goes horribly, horribly wrong. So it actually requires the narrator, the forensic investigator, the murderer setting all this stuff up. And it's just really cool. Anyway, I've talked about it for too much, but yeah.
I do like some board games, but usually they're more war games.
Well, last time I was up there with you, we played Witcher Old World, and I really enjoyed that. That's really cool.
That was a good game. It was an enjoyable game. But you'll also remember why I got conned into getting that game initially was because of the miniatures that came with the game. So,
that wasn't anyone's fault but your own. And me showing it to you.
No,
well, he's also got another game.
Oh, look at this game. And I went,
yeah.
Calculate the price of the game, calculate the price of the figures, and went, yeah, that's actually not too bad.
And then what was the other one I got?
The figures look good though.
The Primal the Awakening,
was, Monster Hunter or the equivalent.
Primal the Awakening, and it's got these massive monsters and dragons and stuff in it, and it looks absolutely epic. Yeah, if you do a good job, I'll be posting that up to you to paint mine. Don't you worry. So yeah, but he'll probably never get around to painting those. He'll take them to his grave. He's got so many miniatures now. I've been busy for a while, but yeah, if you have a look up, Primal the Awakening is a very cool game as well.
They were both very
cool to play and cool minis as well. So,
we certainly played Primal on the computer using the computer.
that was when before it was out. We tried that,
and it was quite good.
Yeah,
quite enjoyable.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mini deck builder and taking the monster down type of thing, and then using the body parts of, say, you killed a frost one, or a fire one, you can use the fire one to attack an ice one or whatever like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of good because it was, even though you were kind of competing, you had to work together.
I think it was a lot more. Witcher Old World was competing. Primal the Awakening is definitely working together.
Definitely. Yeah. The only competition would be the glory of, you know, the kudos for I got the killing blow, but
Oh yeah,
if
yeah,
you didn't work
yeah.
together, you were shafted. You were up the
Yeah,
creek.
yeah. So that was the only little competition, but yeah, it was for the killing blow.
That was really enjoyable. That was another good game.
Yeah.
Mike G.
No. We're up to Star Gideon, who says, with a focus on stability and playability, how long do you think there will be before we see org features, Moby, glass, and org symbols on ship and armors? I think the priority on that has probably slipped a little bit. But they did show that off at CitizenCon, didn't they, Algared?
Sorry, which was that? I'm just
org,
trying to find the
org icons
because I can't see it.
Org icons. So we're up to Dr. Animator. I'll put my logo emote on it. That one. I'll put the execute one on it for you. You can see it. Shit. I've just realized something. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm reading ones from. Yep, I'm reading the wrong.
Week, maybe?
Yeah, probably. I'm reading the ones that we didn't answer from last week. I'm an idiot. Right. Okay. Anyway.
All right, well, still, that's one worth looking at. I thought we got all the questions from last week, so.
Well, unless they're being pulled in, but there's a whole bunch of questions in that haven't been answered. So I don't know what's going
on. Tick, tick, tick. Okay, so we've got Benjamin Frick wasn't answered. Thoughts
No,
on
no,
Abigail,
just go back to the Mike G one that you were go back on the other server, do that one because I stuffed up, not you. That's the wrong way around.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike G, when you're ready.
Scroll down and find it down. So Mike G.
Would you make a video about using referrals with alt account CCUs? I think we've been asked this before. It's probably not in good taste for us to do so. Like, I'll give another example. So I got asked to add our email to the YouTube channel about a month ago. And since then, I've been utterly spammed by people wanting to advertise with us. And that's not something I really want to do. I don't want to kind of, like, we just talk Star Citizen. I don't want to sit here and talk an ad about, one of them was about some Star Trek game. One was about a company that wanted to sell in-game credits, and I'm like, no, that's against the terms of service. You know, another one was they wanted about a secondhand game trading site. Like, I was just like, no, I don't want to talk about any of this stuff. So I'm probably gonna have to go around and remove the email at some point.
Yeah, and like it's one of the things we avoided doing ad revenue for the longest time because we didn't want to put ads in. And the only reason we ended up going down that line was because if we didn't go down that line, the algorithm was actually crucifying us more.
Yep.
And so we took what we considered was the lesser of two evils. So yeah, we're not really looking to be an advertising platform.
And the other thing is, because we do a lot of our episodes, we don't edit them. Like, very rarely do I edit, like, unless I've got to go back and put like a thing like for the ship giveaway or something in. They're all recorded in one hit, and it's actually quicker for us to stop and re-record the whole thing than it is to edit it. Like, we've just found that in the past. And
we tend not to like doing that because
ruins the flow.
We lose the rawness of the discussion. So
we like that.
We know what's coming.
We like that raw energy. We've just something that we've learned to appreciate. You know, warts and all mistakes, it kind of humanizes it a little bit as well.
There are certainly some episodes we've hated because of one issue, and we've ended up putting it on our Patreon because we think it's not really good enough for us to put out for general consumption, but we feel the conversation is so much richer and so much better.
We call them waffly when they get a bit too waffly and stuff. You know, when we're thinking as we talk and stuff. So hey Jen, good to see you. Jen's coming back from Thailand to his trip with all the lady boys. So yeah, he's going to be really disappointed when he gets home. But we hope you had a great time.
Lovely to see you, General.
Yeah.
I wonder if General Desperado would be a seller of a crack.
I found out his real name the other day. It's Dick. No, it's not. Honestly, so I can stuff with him when he's not here, but I really shouldn't do that when he's not here to defend himself. Yeah. Anyway.
Why no racing backpacks?
You got to read their name, Algared. Stefan Helbert.
Stefan Helbert says, "Why no racing backpacks?" Generally, I would have thought because you don't want to be encumbered.
But I think we'll get them eventually, though. And again, yeah, as Algared said, that those suits are pretty slim as they are, and I think that's going to be a thing going forward. You know, it's like in the real world. If I'm a dentist, I don't wear a backpack. You know, it'd be kind of funny. Come here, I want to clean your teeth. Ah! But yeah, anyway. All right, enjoy the airport, Jen. Hope you're having a good time. They're kicking you out already. How long have you been there? I think they've been there like 3 weeks or something. They had a really long trip. So, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great, but typical Australian.
Mm.
Oh, your organs still intact?
Mm.
You haven't been harvested or anything like that?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. This poor Pete's saying backpacks are not aerodynamic, and he said, why not just wear a sail? So you can move faster in the racing suit. Yeah, like I could definitely see them doing backpacks in the future for other people that are not doing racing though. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't agree with the STAR-Kitten thing being for racing, but that's just the way CIG have taken it. And again, you can already see the issue. Someone said we need a Star Citizen racing bike, and someone else has said we need a STAR-Kitten suit, and you've got two very drastic takes on it that have been pitched together. So you can see the mistake there. Anyway.
Yep. Tomificated. Says sent X2 screenshots of the command module's landing gear locations. Can you check your DM?
Did see those earlier, and I had no damn clue what they were. All right. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, they would be landing gear because okay. All right, hang on. I'll open these. All right, so there's the...
Now he has context of those pictures.
Yeah, I had no freaking clue what they were. I'm like, who's this random person sending me pictures? And I'm really cautious at the moment because of what happened on the hacking and stuff. So I'll just open these and I'll have a look at them. It takes me a moment because I got to go. The way they've changed how that works now is really annoying. But yeah, he's right. These are probably, you know, these little. There's one in the middle, and then one on either side. That makes a lot of sense. Similar to the Herald, believe it or not. So yeah, okay, I guess there is landing gear.
So
thank you. Question answered.
Yep.
Now they say
Privatus.
They do say it was. They said earlier in chat that it was for emergency, but yeah, I can't see why you can't do that more common than not. Maybe it's only got a limited amount of fuel or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or it's
All right, you and I will be testing this. We'll be testing
it.
the crap out of it when it comes out anyway, because we've got a lot of interest in this anyway. So.
Yeah, it is a ship that I do like. It's probably my most favorite Drake ship.
Well, that's high praise for
one I do like.
I thought it would be the Rambler for you, but okay.
Ramblers are look, the Cutter series. That's just a great little ship. But if you're talking going beyond starter, the Cat's just a really nice cargo ship.
Algared, have you been in game this week in the PTO?
Sorry, no. But are you talking about the doors on the Cat?
No.
Okay.
The Cutter's fuel was cut by like what is like 1/16 of what it was, or something like that.
Yeah, but we always knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
it was just over the top. Like that. I didn't like the Cutter because it had unlimited fuel. I always thought that was stupid.
It's kind of like I've been saying for years. Everything they were doing into the PTU or in the Star Citizen was essentially dirty nerfs. They didn't really care. They were just getting it kind of in a half okay state so they could go back and work on Squadron 42. Now they're actually working on the game. You can see things how are moving.
They are
slave turrets
back into balance.
Yeah, and no ramming of big ships. You can see where it's all going. They're actually actively trying to do shit where they haven't been doing anything for years.
Yep.
And people thought I was crazy, but no, it was really obvious. Again, I know because I used to do it.
But anyone who's played, I find it hard because anyone who's played any MMO would have half a clue.
True. I don't reckon it's just MMOs. I reckon it's just games in general. You could take a lot of that stuff and apply it to.
Well, any multiplayer, any game where you're doing different people or we're doing regular updates of the game.
And any live game is what I'd probably call it. Any kind of live multiplayer game because they move as they go along. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. You know, if you've played any of those, it shouldn't be surprising to you that they're constantly doing that type of stuff. So, so Crivitus did that one. Actually, no, I hadn't done that. Crivitus said, "Why do you think they didn't make the Star Kitten LTI at least? Of Star Kitten pack LTI at least, they normally have a cheaper LTI token and haven't since the Intrepid."
Because technically it's a skin and it's something that's been sold before, and that would be why. Yeah, I think the only thing that really kind of, and it's not a huge annoyance, is the fact that they bundled the bike, the skin, and the suit together, but there was no bundle for just the suit and the bike. Because if you've already got the bike, you're going to want the skin, and if you've already got that, you're going to want the suit. So they deliberately left them separate, so you have to spend more money. But again, that's marketing.
I would have liked to see, just the suit and the skin, because if you've got the bike, you don't need to buy, but you shouldn't need to buy the bike again, the way skins are applied.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Piss Poor Pete. Elliot clarified the pronunciation of Wickaloo or Wickalow, with the emphasis being on the low.
Who clarified the pronunciation?
Kind of like Piccolo.
So who?
That was Piss Poor Pete, I said.
No, read it again. Because I've read the question and you didn't pronounce it. Elliot.
Okay, so how do you plan on butchering it to make it make me sound angry?
So Elliot talked about how it was pronounced, and it's like Piccolo, or what's his name?
Wickalo. Yeah.
No, not Piccolo. It's the guy with the nose that grows really long when he lies. What's his name? Pinocchio, but it's Wickalo. So it's like Pinocchio, but Wickalo.
How do you plan to say the name so it makes him sound angry? So it makes him angry. Wickalo.
Like he means like Zion. That's what he's talking about. Pick a word. So just change it from low to woe. Pick a word.
Yeah, pick a word.
Pick a word. Pick a word. Hey, have you seen Pick a word? Oh, what's his name? Wickawar. 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 Wickawar.
Pinch your nose and say it like Wickawar.
Wickawar. Hey, what's up, Wickawar?
Yeah, Wickawar.
Hey, how's my doing, my homie Wickawar?
We probably just call him Wiki.
Yeah, WikiLeaks. Yeah, Wiki. Yeah, Wiki.
Call him Wiki.
What's up, Wiki?
Seen Wiki lately?
Yeah. Wiki. I heard someone say that it'd be called because it looks like Wilco, but I think I'll just call him Wiki. To be honest, I think Wiki's cooler.
Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah, we'd probably do a very
probably just destroyed all the ears going Wickawar over and over, but like, oh no, it's killing me. Right. What are we up to? Stacks Gideon says, with the focus on
Cyber IO.
Am I reading the wrong chat again? I am. No.
Cyber IO, sorry, says.
Wait a minute. Am I in the wrong chat again? I am in the wrong chat again. Go ahead.
So Cypher IO says, so if your target goes into clouds to where you cannot visibly see them, does your target lock on the opponent unlock?
I would hope so. If it doesn't right now, it will eventually, type of thing.
Yep.
I
think it depends on.
It'd kind of work like chaff, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it'd depend on what you're using. If you're using a cross section, yes. If you're using a heat signal, maybe not.
Well, also
clouds are doing.
It wouldn't just be clouds. You'd have electronic interference, like if you're in a thunderstorm or rain, could shorten it. Visibility. So many different weather effects. So
so depending on the effect will impact I would hope how the scanners or systems are working. So
yeah, definitely across the board. There's so many different effects there that they'll have to and the way how realistic the game is, I'd be really surprised if that doesn't come in eventually.
Indeed. Varanaf32 says, with the amount of alpha UEC and that even solo players have made from this last event, have you considered changing your earn down considerations? My new rule is $450 and earn down.
No, because again, it's before the game is out, and you have to look at the price that ships are, and the prices of ships are drastically increasing. I think you'll be surprised when it all settles at the final end. If you think about it realistically, right? The Javelin is an org-based ship. Now, would you build, if you were a designer, would you make it so that a single person can go out and relatively, they probably could, but how long would it take to earn an org ship? Or would you make it so an org has to earn an org ship? It's pretty logical if you look at it like that, right? That you are not going to just be able to go out and do, you can do it, but it might take you several years or however long it's going to take, right? But the shoe's got to fit the person. It's the whole what's the I'm going to butcher this. The one with the glass slipper, the glass, the shoe's got to fit type of thing.
The glasses are full. The glasses.
No, not the glass half full. What's the
a Cinderella.
Cinderella, that's the one. Yeah, there's a line in that. If the shoe fits, type of thing. It's basically all right. Yeah. See you, John. Have a good one.
See you, John. Take care, mate.
Yep. See you soon.
But yeah, I don't think it changes the view. I think if anything, those price of ships is still true. Like when we're talking buy big, earn down, we're talking about the real life cost of ships.
Yep.
We're not talking about.
Yeah, I'm not talking about in game. The earn down economy is the another way that assists that, right? So because it's like, well, if I can buy this and I can buy this, but I'm getting this for cheaper, but I'm also getting all these. It's just I don't even know how to put that in a word that makes sense.
Yep.
I think your phone is ringing.
It is my phone. One later.
Yeah.
It was actually my Discord. Hey.
Yeah. So So in the case of, say, you get a reclaimer, it's very easy to earn down to the ships below in game because you're obviously earning so much more money. But realistically, it's like Algared pointed out when he worked it out. It's 2.5 vultures is essentially a reclaimer. You're gonna, you know all the math.
We've cargo capacity.
Yeah, alone.
The reclaimer is like 17 vultures.
Yeah. So you do the math, like you work that all out. It's essentially, it's just so much better value to get the bigger ship. And again, so you had like a Prospector, a Vulcan, and a Vulture. Merge those together and just get the reclaimer and earn down to any of those. That's kind of what we're trying to say. And again, if you want to break any of those rules or suggestions that we make, feel free to do so, but they are based on the best financial advice, generalistically speaking. You do whatever you want. It's just like we're just showing you a way to make your money go further. Algared, can I take a photo? I need to take a screenshot. So that's it. You had a massive hole in your head, like you'd just been hit by a baseball bat.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like you had a massive dent in
your
your
head. The joys of a green screen
microphone
and a green filter on the mic.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, yeah. Tesla Coil. Do you think they will ever sell game packages without a ship attached to it? I would like to think down the track, possibly.
Could we technically say Squadron 42 and say they've already done that?
Well, you probably could. But if you're talking PU, then I'd like to think that you'd see
retail as well.
Down the track, a marine pack.
Because we've kind of suspected that eventually you'll buy Star Citizen, or they really want to talk to you.
They do.
You'll buy Star Citizen, you log into the game.
Yep.
All right, mute yourself. I'll log into the game and you'll basically pick whatever the starter ships are. You'll pick one to start with and off you'll go. And we've even suggested it could be even tied to where you start. You know, it could be a part of your backstory. You know, I spawned on Magnus. I've been hard and downtrodden. So I start with a Drake ship. You know, I'm kind of like highborn, and I was born on Earth at Origin HQ or RSI HQ, whatever. And so you start with an RSI ship. It could be that way as well. A part of how you crack your character is the ship that you start with. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that kind of snaps out. Is it just you pick a ship, or is it a part of how you create your character? Let's see. All right. I don't know how long these going to be. I'll go to the next question. Dub Coyote, do you think we'll get another chance to buy Squadron 42 before it's released? You back, Algared, or not?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, I was just talking about the starter ships.
Yep.
Like how you and I talked about, like when you start Star Citizen, do you reckon you'll just pick a ship when you log in? Or I was also suggesting it could be tied to how you create your character. So you choose Magnus as your home starting planet, and you're like a slum guy, and you know they automatically give you a Drake ship because you start on Magnus. Or if you start on Earth, that you might get an RSI ship, or you start somewhere where Origin is. Like it depends on where you start. So it could be a part of the character creation process, or you just pick the ship you want when it's all full at retail.
I think they'd go. Both of those have a certain appeal, but I think giving you the choice of a ship you want would be the way they'd be more likely to go.
Mhm.
Or have it, if you choose this planet, this is going to be your starting ship. If you choose this planet, this will be your starting ship. So it'd give you an idea of what you'd be getting. But yeah, I tend to think that down the track they'll sell. I kind of think they'll do something like that. I do also think that down the track they'll sell their character slots. So you buy a character slot, and that enables you to, gives you a playable NPC, or gives you something, just like I've seen on many other games as well. So will they go that? Does it guarantee they're going to do that? Nope. But I tend to think they'll do something with those starter ships to give more of a choice. I hope they do that. But yeah. You're going to go on Dub Coyotes?
Yeah,
you think they'll have another chance to buy Squadron 42?
Yes, I do think so. Can we talk about what Sandy said? I think we can, can't we?
Probably not.
In the regards to when she removed it from the store.
We probably can talk about that. Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm talking about just that. So with that, she basically said you got nothing for buying it.
Yep.
It's something you have to wait for, so they just removed it. That was their whole reason for removing it. It was something you bought and you got nothing.
Yeah. So Sandy's always been a big one for that. If you buy it, you've got to be able to get something. And I think that's part of the reason why they also went down that we're not releasing a ship unless it's got its gameplay, because it's tied in with that whole idea. You got nothing to do with it. But yeah, I think that was, that's just a straight up Sandy wanting to look after the backers, and I think that Squadron 42 thing is, you can't do anything in the game with, as you said, you get nothing for it, so why sell it? It's too long away.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I am trying to. Can you read the next question, please? I'm trying to.
Nick Nolan has a question. He says, Algared, do you have a Phoenix Emerald? Yes. Is it worth trying to get one on the 17th? I would say no, because I think once you go into that price of a ship, you really want to go LTI. The ship doesn't come with LTI, so it's not worth having. That's my personal preference. Unfortunately, the Emerald is one of those ships where you can't. It's a ship itself. It's not the skin. I hope down the track the skin will be separated from the ship, and then be able to apply to any constellation. But that's my hope. So yeah. Unless you want to chuck in and weigh in on that as well.
No, I you know how I kind of feel about Origin ships, and I think RSI Phoenix needs to be separated. I've said that quite a few times. It needs the Buccaneer treatment. It needs to be split off and made its own ship, because it is literally suffering from what they've done to it.
It needs to be. It does feel like it needs to be slightly bigger.
So, and there's no reason they can't make it like a Connie 1.5. So they, maybe it and the Aquila get split off, and it's a bigger Connie. It's like, we started with a Connie, but you can see where it goes. It's almost like what they're doing with the Valkyrie and the Paladin. Is kind of what I'm suggesting.
It needs that. Yeah, and that enable them to do things like give it the extra armor that was supposed to have. It enables them to go closer to what they promised.
Yeah,
the Phoenix was.
Yeah.
So yeah, life is just a game. You think we get the Perseus for Invictus launch week? No.
No, I don't think we will.
Dibble says, with CIG slaving turrets to pilot control for a lot of ships, do you think they're going to expand it to Retaliator? And what other ships do you think this change needs to be added? I think it's a now thing, not a down the track
thing. Eventually be able to do whatever you want. That's my almost stock standard answer for that, because it's a cart for the horse problem. And as a one of the most common things I'll say in this game, you guys are getting ahead of yourself. How it'll end up being, and I'm painting everyone with the same brush, myself included. You've got to wait till they get things sorted, because it's just this. Yeah. They're going to get there eventually.
I think it's similar to what I was just saying. It's the gameplay for now, not the gameplay that we'll see.
Well, there is one important difference between the ships that got pilot-controlled guns and the Retaliator. The Retaliator has precisely 0 of remote turrets.
Yeah.
And they only did it to remote turrets this pass. I was hopeful that would happen with the Retaliator when it got its recent gold pass, but that's not what happened.
Yeah. And that's also true for the Gladiator as well. The Gladiator is a piloted turret, and therefore it doesn't get a remote turret, whereas the Hornets turret, you're not sitting in the turret, and so they were able to slave that to the pilot, and that was always the argument they gave.
The Retaliator's cost really comes from the fact that it's got such high people requirements from a ship of that size. I think it's 5 people minimum because of all the turrets and stuff. It's too high.
Yeah,
it's too small and too high.
I got to admit, when I first read that, for some reason even though I was reading Retaliator, I was thinking Redeemer. For some reason. But yeah, the Retaliator's got so many turrets, but they're manned, just like the Gladiator's turret's manned. They don't get slaved.
Right. Tesla Coil's the one we just did. So Monster Avery. Actually. Do you think there's anything speculation in another Raptor April 1st? Oh, there'll be something from April 1st. They always do that.
There'll be something for April 1st.
But yeah, they always do something.
We did see the Raptor live, didn't we?
Oh yeah, you can definitely see where they were. There was at least 3 or 4 of them in Manchester, so you can see where it came from.
Yep, it was a full-on just vehicle from street cleaner from Manchester, just put into game. Yep.
Monster Avery, with a number of concepts being in development, releasing, do you think that we'll be keeping new concepts related reduced to ones releasing soon already, or do you think they'll fall back to long-term concepts? No, I don't think they'll fall back to long-term concepts. They've really moved to a more fly now, especially for the smaller ships. It's really only bigger ships that take time. So like think about what happened with the Ironclad as an example. That and even then that looks like they're trying to get things out within a relatively speedy amount of time.
Yeah, and if you think about the Ironclad as well, it was like from when they first kind of are we getting a Corvette? Well, yeah, smile, because that's the Ironclad's in production.
Yep.
We don't get it sold until 6 months or almost a year down the track. So
I think they're even planning to release them sooner too. So if you look at what happened with the Galaxy, that was at least planned to come sooner than it's coming, but something's holding it back. So
yeah.
What are we up to? Yeah, go that one. You do it.
Chris says, maybe the question I wondered if it was about the Paladin's turrets that can be controlled by the turret. So this is the Y plus the turret, the slave guns. Is it related to the turret of the Paladin? The question I wondered whether the Paladin's turrets can be controlled by turret gunners or slaved by the pilot.
Yeah.
But I think that gets answered by the fact that it's actually turret gunners and not remote turrets. They're actually manned turrets.
Yeah. Mopar225 says, is there going to be more beginner-friendly / not so dangerous systems than SE in the future? Yes. High security, low security, and medium security. So basically, in the high security areas, the UE will defend you and turn up within about 5 minutes. In medium, it's about 15 minutes. And in low security, they'll never turn up. So you're going to have your own defenses and stuff like that. So basically, any starting area, so like Terra or Earth, Sol, I guess they'll call it, whatever. And there'll be other ones as well. They will generally be a lot safer. But you go out somewhere like Nyx or Pyro, obviously they're going to be low security, and you're kind of going to be on your own. And then somewhere in the middle ground, what's something that would be Stanton would be middle ground? Would you say?
Yeah, I think Stanton will be middle ground because even though it's UEE, it's for corporations kind of.
Yeah.
Gives a bit of mixed area.
Mm.
So yep. Doug Coyote says, now that there is a content drive, do you think, now that there is a content drive in terms of getting content, do you think we will get ArtCorp municipal works this year?
I don't know, because of like I said earlier, because they're essentially moving stuff around. So, yeah.
I don't think the municipal works and even stuff in Hurston in those down below levels would be too far reach, given that we've basically got that with the contested zones in Pyro. I don't think it's seems to be too much different, but as you said, as they're moving things around, we don't know.
Socially Confused, last question of the day, says, won't having multiple starter packs give character slots? Yes, they will.
Yes.
And you talked about that earlier, didn't you, Algared?
Yep. I've often said that, so yeah.
And
that was our last question.
Yep, so we will have that episode about what ships are coming soon this week, and then Morphs the week after. I'll have to go back and edit that one, or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll probably do
something else happens that kicks it down the road, but we've
I'll go back and I think I'll just add the giveaway secretly to the Morph one, and I'll just put it in the description, and if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. All right, with that, then we're going to be redirecting on YouTube to Astropub, and on Twitch we're going to be doing Loken. They are doing a joint stream together, playing the game, checking out the new 4.1 stuff. They're both Inforunners. I would like you to say to Loken, please rejoin the Discord and re-add Execute as a friend. That'd be great, because I can't get through to him, and it's really annoying the shit out of me because
and then ask him to ask Paul about his favorite ship.
Get Logan tell us about the Redeemer. So yeah. All right. Tell those guys we love them, and we'll talk to them soon. It's good to see them. All right. Twitch. Oh wait, I've actually got to start.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell.
No, that's not YouTube. That's not YouTube. We don't do the YouTube stuff yet. We've got to get rid of Twitch first, and then we can talk. You don't know how to do this, you boomer.
I'm just assuming you'd forgotten.
No, I had not forgotten.
As you sometimes do.
All right, Twitch, say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, say goodbye to Twitch. We'll see you next week. And they're gone. Right, with that then, don't forget to like, subscribe. Oh shit, now my button's not working. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and thank you to everyone that went the extra mile on Patreon at the end of the video. With that then, he's been Algared.
He's been Execute. Out of here.
See you, citizens.